Welcome to the Isle of Man Manx Grand Prix 2023, and this year we celebrate 100 years of this great event, and boy, we can't wait to share the content that's going to be coming your way. 100 years, in 1923, this event was born, and it was born just because a little other event on the Isle of Man, the TT, which you may have heard of, was possibly moving and leaving the island. So they started the Manx Grand Prix just in case that event was going to disappear off this beautiful rock in the Irish Sea. Of course it didn't, and thank you, it stayed. But the Manx Grand Prix was born in 1923, and boy, has it had some names racing on this mountain course. And I tell you what, I reckon there's going to be some records broken this week here. So hopefully the sun's going to come out to play, and the weather's going to work with us this week, and it's going to support a safe and a successful week here at the Manx Grand Prix Centenary celebrations. Russell, he's just about to lead the newcomers out. Mike, what a responsibility and a great experience for you at the Centenary this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is a bit of nostalgia for your first lap round here. I'll remember my first lap behind Chris Palmer like it was yesterday. So to be invited to come and do it, certainly on the Centenary of the Manx Grand Prix as well, is very special. And one that I won't forget. Hopefully the lads I'm leading out won't forget. We've had a nice, sort of chat there about what not to expect, what to expect, because at the end of the day, people come here with a lot of experience, have been racing. I mean, Richie's been racing longer than I've been alive, that sort of job, and he's a very good short circuit racer, but you're trying to instill to them it's such a different course to anywhere they've done before that you need to almost forget what you've learned and start from afresh, keep using the reference points and build from there. So it's their first lap. I'm nervous for them. I'm sure they're nervous, but they all come across pretty cool, calm and collected, unlike me. I mean, at my age, I'm probably having a mild cardiac arrest, but it's a lovely moment to be involved with, and hopefully one that I can continue and they can get some memories out of as well.
Well, listen, have a great one. Thank you for chatting to us. Go and enjoy. You join us in the two wheels.
Two wheels and a three.
Thank you. Thank you. Dave Rigby, I remember this time last year I was chatting to you in Douglas, in a very well-known bar in Douglas, and you were talking about doing the Manx Grand Prix, and here you are. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, really good. It's sort of been so hectic. The awning flew away obviously on Friday, as I said to you before, so we had to get a new awning and a bit late setting up, but luckily the bike and everything's prepped and good, so it's just been a case of sorting everyone else out and keeping busy really. But yeah, now we're here, I'm starting to sort of get the feeling we're going out, so that's good. Yeah.
And tell us about getting the setup and getting ready this year, because you've had so much going on trying to get this in place, haven't you?
Yeah, I was going to ride for another team, but we changed plans. Just a few other things came into light, and options and stuff like that. And it's just good, really. Like I say, we've done it the way we wanted to do it, and yeah, it's just been go. And anyone in bike racing will know it's hard to get the money to get things in time, even to order like bits and bobs. It takes time to come through, so you're always panicking, but at the same time it's good, it keeps you busy. It's what we do it for, isn't it? This is the easy part.
Well, tell us a bit about this fantastic bike that you're going out on as well.
Well, yeah, this is basically Ian Martin's dot racing bike he's lent me. He used to run a British Supersport team, so he's kindly basically helped me out. He's he's an absolute gentleman, and then main sponsors are like Island Fuels. I'm riding their twin also, so I'll be out on that after, and then 1886, obviously a huge one, and Premier Construction, Q Plus. So they've all come together, and we've got a lovely little bike here. Stands out anyway, doesn't it?
Definitely does. And you're about to go out around the 37.7 mile mountain course.
Yeah.
How much fun is that going to be?
Oh, well, going behind obviously a legend Michael Rutter's something, isn't it? Like, that's it. You can't buy this, can you? Well, you can, it's a lot of money, but you have to, it's unbelievable. So yeah, it's certain things money can't buy, and this is one of them. Okay. Yeah, loving it.
Well, listen, riggers, have a great one. Enjoy. Have you joined me in doing it two-wheeling?
Thank you. See ya.
Well, I'm here with Manxman Joe Yeardsley. Joe, how are you feeling about going out in Newcomers Lap?
Can't wait. It's been a long time coming. I can't believe how fast the last 2.5 years have gone, really. But we're here now. The mist is cleared, so it's just the waiting rounds are scary bit. I think once we get out there, everything will be good. But just take it easy today and try and build up over the week.
We're looking forward to seeing how you do. Tell us a bit about the bike that you're on.
Yeah, this is a Yamaha R6. It's my own bike. I haven't actually raced it since April because I blew a motor up, and then we had to wait for some new heads to arrive, so I've lost a season's worth of riding, but I rode it last year, so we'll be all right. We've got, hopefully the weather plays ball, we can get a bit of time on it, and hopefully get 3 laps on it today.
Mega. Well, listen, have a great one and enjoy that track.
Thank you very much.
Two-wheeler. Thank you, Joe.
Cheers.
So I'm back with Andy Hornby. We spoke to you back at the Prix TT Classic, I believe, did we?
Yes.
Start of this season. You had some fun out on the roads down there in the south of the island, and you've decided to come back again to the Manx Grand Prix for the 100 years. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a great Prix TT is a great event. So we did the Prix TT, had a good run down there, and then came up to the TT, rode a Super Twin, a pattern there, which was fortunate enough to get a ride on, which was cool. And then the rest of the year we've been a bit in Ireland, a bit in Europe, but you've got to come back to the Manx centenary year, haven't you?
You have to. You've got to come back on these Manx roads as well.
I think once the bug bites, that's it. I think once you've ridden around the island, it ruins road racing for you then, because you can't think of anything else. So everything else you compare to it. So yeah, it's a great event, and it's nice. It's the centenary this year. We've got 2 bikes, which is cool. So a little bit more track time, and yeah, what's not to love about this?
And tell us a bit about the 2 bikes that you are racing.
So we're on the Honda that we were on the Manx last year, which is a 1972 504. Exactly the same as last year, just refreshed. Different paint job, just for a change. And then we've also got a ZXR 750 in the classic superbike, which is great. That was a late entry, so I'm really pleased to be riding that. So I can't wait to fire that off down Glencountry Road. It should be good fun.
Awesome. We'll have great fun.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again at some point over the next week. Can you join me doing a 2-wheeling?
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Mikey Evans, another Manxman, gracing the roads here at the mountain course at the Manx Grand Prix Centenary. How does it feel to be part of such an iconic event at such an iconic time in history?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm honoured to be racing at this time so we can celebrate the 100 years of the Manx.
And how are you feeling about going into today's session?
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't actually done a lot of riding since TT, so kind of creeps up on you and you just think, I get to go down Prix Hill again today. So it's kind of just come out of nowhere, but yes, just see how the bikes go today. It's the start of the week, we've got plenty of time, but yeah, I'm excited.
And tell us a bit about the bike that you are racing.
This is Suzuki S-Rad, same as what I had last year, a few little upgrades on it. Still standard-ish compared to some of the bikes here, but all good fun. And I've got a 500 Manx Norton, which I'll be riding, so that'll be really nice. Obviously, given the centenary, and I've never actually ridden a classic bike that old anyway. So that'll be a new experience for me, and something new to learn.
Okay, well, listen, have a great time, enjoy, and you join us soon at 2-wheeling. So I'm here, Mr. Sam West. He has done a few laps around here, the mountain course before, so he's back here for the centenary. Brilliant to have you here. How are you feeling going out on the setup that you have?
Really excited, a little bit nervous. The motor's a new bike to me, but yeah, can't wait to get going. Something exciting about these old bikes, isn't there?
Yeah, and the smells.
Yeah, smell of the oil, smell of the fuel, smell of all the leaks everywhere. Yeah, it's all part of it.
And how about being part of the centenary as well, Sam?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's quite special. It's 9 years since I first started road racing, and that was at the Manx, so it feels quite nice. I'm coming up to a decade, 100 years of the Manx. That just makes you realise it's nice to be part of history and part of something that's been around for so long.
And what are you most looking forward to over this next week?
Doing loads of wheelies, getting it wide open, going as fast as I can, and hopefully the bike will hold together all week and we'll get a good result in the race.
Okay, well listen, have fun, enjoy, best of luck, and if you join me just doing a 2-wheeling.
Cheers.
Nice one, Sam. So welcome back to the Alaman TT, Andy. It's great to have an American here that's so passionate about this mountain course, and to see you here as part of the centenary as well.
Who's Andy?
Oh, sorry. Well, take 2. I'm just speaking to Adam here, all the way over from the USA. You love this mountain course, don't you? You're so passionate about this track and this event, the TT, the Manx Grand Prix. So it's great to have you part of the centenary.
Thank you. It's fabulous to be here.
And how are you feeling about going out to your session?
Excited, it's all first night's always a little nervous, and it's been a year, and you go out and just kind of see where you're at and go have a good time.
And how about that year? Does it felt like a long build-up, a long old process to get here?
Oh yeah, I mean all the flights and all the time to put together all the races and signatures and to get your mountain course license sorted and all the paperwork and the insurance and all the everything just to get here in the first place. Now it's the easy part. You're just kind of waiting.
And tell us about what you're riding.
I'm riding Robbie Sylvester's VRS Racing CBR 600 RR in the senior, number 41. Was 58 last year, so moving up the numbers a little bit, and hoping to get a good run on it. And I like the 600s a lot, so they're just they're a treat to ride around here.
And what about road racing? It's just another level, isn't it, of community here in the road racing paddock?
Yeah, I mean everybody's here. I can walk into any tent here and ask a question, and they're going to help me out, and I'll do the same to anybody else that comes to my tent. And that says a lot for real roads versus a lot of the short track stuff. It's a family, and I love it here. It's just fantastic.
And as an event as well, they've drawn in some incredible classics here, haven't they? I mean, classic riders and classic bikes. Besides what you're racing yourself, Is there anything that you're really excited to see out there?
I think my highlight was when they had the Britons here. That was kind of my, oh my god. But I don't know. I haven't honestly looked to see what all's here for the classics. The Derby Festival's going to go on, and I'm excited to go there. I went there in 2015, my first year over here, and there were bikes there that I was like, what in the heck is that? And it's pretty awesome.
Well, listen, I'll let you get back to it. Have fun. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And thank you for chatting to us as well. Have you joined us in doing a two-wheeling? Thank you. Take care. So, Robbie Sylvester, you've been here for quite a few events in the past, supporting many riders. Yeah. You've got quite a history here on the Manx roads. So, how do you feel about being here at the centenary?
Yeah, very good. It's my 40th anniversary.
Congratulations! Wow!
So 40 years of racing. So it's been good. So we've put a bit of an effort on this year, and we've fetched a few bikes and a few riders.
Yeah.
We've got 3 Americans riding for us, and then Sam from Yorkshire, the Yorkshire lad. I think he's a Lincolnshire lad really, but we'll call him. He lives in Yorkshire now, so we'll adopt him.
Adopt him, exactly. So tell us about what you've got them out on this year.
I've got 3 CBR 600s here. The guys are out on them. We've got Sam's riding one. He's got a T-bike, he's got a spare bike, and I've got Adam Bowers out on the other one. And then we've got 2 750 Kawasaki's. Pete Murray from America's riding one of them, and the other one's a T-bike for him. And then we fetched 3 650s with us as well, but we've only got one of those 650s out. Andy Scov, a newcomer from America's riding that one.
Okay.
We should have had Dan Sale out, but unfortunately sponsors have let him down, so he's not riding that one now. So.
And how come there are few Americans?
It's just one of them things that happened.
Yeah.
Obviously we've put a package together for Pete to come over 6 years ago, and he came over and then he's never been anywhere else since. And then Adam rode for us last year, and then Andy got a number from one of them guys. And yeah, we tend to bring lads from all over the world. We've had Colombians and all sorts in the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And why do you keep coming back to the Manx Grand Prix?
This is where it all starts.
Yeah.
And this is, for me, where it should start.
Yeah.
There should be no newcomers at the TT.
Yeah.
When I did it, there were no tyre warmers, and it were early morning practices. It were like, but I think everybody should have cut the teeth here. And I love this event, and I've brought newcomers here for years and years and years, and I'm one of the ACU coaches for bringing the newcomers round. But I've done it for a long time on my own, just bringing new lads to the event. And I think this event, it's so well organised. It's like a family event, and it's a good introduction to the roads. So you send them to TT, and a lot of them are lost. Yeah, they've no idea where they are. Nobody helps them out. It's getting a bit like a BSB paddock. Nobody wants to talk to you.
So I want to know, all the years, 40 years now, right? So, wow, that's incredible. Out of all of those years, can you potentially pick out one bike? So if we think about classics, because we're a TVing Classics channel, one bike that you've loved racing or you've loved working on yourself?
I've worked on loads of bikes here. I was fortunate enough, my dyno was the dyno here for nearly 20 years, so I got to ride the Honda 6, I got to ride the Nortons, I got to ride all the stuff, you know, I used to set the RC45s up for Honda, for Joey and all them boys, and Callan's bikes, and I've rode a lot of the stuff that wasn't classic, that's now classic, and it's the fantastic. For me, the RC30 synonymous to this place, it's just sound of its own, and it did really well when it were here, like, so that's my bike, my classic bike would be an RC30, and I've not got one of them.
Oh, you haven't? What?
No, I've got a couple of, I have an RG500, I've got Dennis Island's one that won the Grand Prix in '79, and I've got some Bimota YB3s and stuff like that, but I've none of the modern Honda stuff. I keep going to John Chapman's and going, I'll have some of them, one day.
And tell us about riders then. So you've been amongst the best over that 40 years. Who's really stood out as one of those old school riders, those real competitors that's really stuck in your mind that you always go back to as, wow, I really got to race with him around and be around him?
Yeah, Ryan Farquhar really good, but for me, one of the best riders that were here is a lad who's no longer with us, and Tommy Lucas.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with Tommy. I was working on his bikes the day when he had his accident, and you know, for him to do that 120 mile an hour lap here, it was something special, like, so. Yeah. He's got a place in my heart as Tommy.
Great. And the Tommy Club, of course, now is a legacy in itself, being left through him.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, 2 years ago, we had Brad Vickers riding for us, and Brad put his bike into the Tommy Club and got me one of the hats. Yeah. And it's got pride of place in one of my trophy cabinets. That's Tommy's hat, like. So just nice that he got into that, like.
So what's next for the next 40 years?
Feet up and slippers and a pipe, I think. Well, yeah, no, I said I was going to retire after this year, and then 2 weeks ago I bought a new R7 for next year, so I don't know, we'll maybe be back next year.
We'll see you here next year then,
Yeah.
Robbie. Thanks so much for chatting to us. You joined us in just doing a two-wheeler.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great one. Mr. Davo Johnson, welcome back in the #1 plate. How good does it feel to be here for the centenary?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's always a good vibe here. I enjoy doing it every year, so I'll definitely be coming back as long as I keep enjoying it, which I'm sure I will.
And tell us a little about the great setup here you've got in the team this year.
Yeah, with Alistair Cowan Racing, he always puts out an amazing bike with Craig Neve and the Classic Superbike as well. Yeah, they're just amazing bikes. I love riding them. Yeah, they're just immaculately prepared, always. It's just how Alistair rolls. He never stops, that guy.
Love it. And a great teammate as well in Craig.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's a fast rider now, so it's definitely perfect for a teammate. Pushes both to the next level. So it's we need us both on the podium this year, because it was close to a bit having that last year, but unfortunately Craig blew up an engine on the last lap while he was leading. So yeah, we'll see if we can rectify that this year.
So this year, with it being the centenary, we've got loads of legends, including yourself, obviously, on the bikes, and legendary pieces of machinery that are going out there in the parades and the laps and all of the events. Is there anything that you're really looking forward to seeing going out here, David?
I just love watching all the old bikes. I'm a classic bike guy at heart anyway, because my dad's got a collection. I'm starting a collection. It's nowhere near as big as his, but it's getting there. But and even looking around the pits and seeing he's got the newest of the bikes that are here. But I really love the two-strokes. I want to see more 500s out here, because they can actually go in our class, but nobody's willing to sort of batter it, because this track obviously batters everything. So engine-wise and bike, everything, it's just it's going to take its toll on the bike. So nobody wants to bring their pride and joy out here, which that's what a 500 would be if they had one. But yeah, the 250s are still great to see as well.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, Dave, we're going to let you back to it. Thanks for chatting to us. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Join us in doing a little two-wheeling. Nice one. Thank you, Dave. Take care. I'm here with Veronika Hangutiová from Czech Republic. Veronika, you're not too shy of these Manx roads, are you? You're a bit of a fan, so it must feel special to be here for the centenary.
I'm so happy to be back because my last time was 2019. I missed last year because I broke my arm, so I'm very happy to be back again.
And tell us a little bit about what you're racing on.
I'm on Aprilia RS 660, so I'm doing Manx Grand Prix Junior only, but I'm really happy on this bike because the bike is, handling very good and everything is all right. It's really proper race bike, so I'm very happy on it and really looking forward to be back on a track.
Great. And why the Manx Grand Prix? Why does it draw you back?
Manx, it's something very special. I'm a typical road racer. I've never been on a short circuit racing, much. So I'm not short circuit like a rider. So this is like a top of the racing what I can do. So that's my main target every year.
Great, we love it, and we love seeing another lady here. Tell us why and how did you get into road racing in the first place? Why were you drawn to it?
I'm originally come from Brno, so I was very near to racetrack. So I met few people, but that people, did like a road racing only. So I met them, and my own bike was a very old bike, Suzuki GS750 from 1977, and they said to me, "Your bike is like a classic bike. You can do racing with us." So they paid my first license, back in the years, I think 15 years ago, and I started, racing like this. Never been on a short circuits, only road racing.
Great. And what have been the biggest challenges for you in the sport as you've raced through the years, as you've challenged yourself with the road racing?
I have to say that my first time, 2013, at Irish roads, it was very difficult to get there, and to be on the start, for the first time. I remember when I was in the Babe, in the orange, vest, and that was so funny because my first race, Michael Dunlop had some troubles in the qualification, so he started behind me. So it was so funny, and I was on a pole position in a B race, so it was good fun. And then, all the racing, at Ireland, it was good, like an experience, but this is like a main, thing, I love man, it's something special. So hopefully a tourist trophy next year, maybe.
Great. Well, listen, it's wonderful to have you back. Thank you for chatting to us. We'll let you get ready to go out. You join us in just doing a two-wheeling classics. I'm here with Aaron Hughes. It's not a bad spot to be waiting to go out in your session here, is it, amongst these beauties?
Absolutely, yeah. We're in some pretty rich company here, so I'm very, very privileged to be here. Staying out the wind though, still a bit breezy today, but thank goodness we've got over that deluge we had over the last couple of days.
And tell us why the Manx Grand Prix, why the mountain course, what draws you back here?
Well, this is my first time here. I'm a rookie this year. To jump on a big bike straight away, just not the way I want to do it. I love my classics, and I can take a little bit more in at the pace that these things are running. So this is why I'm here on this bike.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about your bike as well, Aaron.
Yeah, so this is a Honda CB504. It's originally a Davis Motorsport frame, all the little bits and pieces, that they've developed over the years, but we put our touch on it at HM, and hopefully we've developed a pretty reliable package here, and it goes strong. Just out with McGuinness this morning, he was on the Fireblade, and he says, we were towing over 200 Ks off for Craig. He goes, you were still behind me. He goes, I was quite impressed. So it's got to mean something, I hope.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, have fun and have a great week, and thanks for chatting to us. You just joined us in doing a two-wheeling. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. I'm here with Mr. Jamie Williams. Jamie, back on Manx Roads. Welcome back.
Thanks very much, Hayley.
And it's the Manx Grand Prix Centenary.
It is indeed, yeah. It's an event, obviously, that we done last year. Even more so special, home turf, centenary. Weather's been kind today, but no, it's good to be back, racing around the best place in the world.
Isn't it just?
It is.
So tell us about what you're racing. You've been out already today as well.
Yeah, so we've got the NC Racing Honda CBR 600, and we've also got the Kawasaki Z650 Super Twin. Been out on the 600 and the senior earlier on this afternoon. Had a good run. Not so much on the Super Twin. We've got some teething problems, which has been the story of our life for the last number of weeks, but it's motorbikes, isn't it? These things happen.
But you're still having fun on them?
Of course, yeah. Smile from ear to ear.
Of course. And what a great team you have here. It's a really nice family setup, and that's what you need when you're going to go out around that crazy mountain course, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, that's what we've always sort of based on. It's always been friends and family orientated, and you know, I've got a great group of guys in the NC racing camp, you know, local family from Castletown that have been good enough to sponsor us and back us since 2017, and then obviously my own family and friends as well that are heavily involved. So no, it's nice, close knit. You can get away with saying stuff to them that maybe you wouldn't to hired in mechanics, but it's all banter and good fun, and that's what we're here for.
And being here celebrating 100 years of this incredible event, there's so much great stuff going on. There's entertainment, there's all sorts of legends on 2 legs and 2 wheels. Is there anything classic-wise in particular that you're looking forward to seeing or that you enjoy watching?
Yeah, I love the 2-stroke race.
Yeah.
It's on my list to do at some point. But yeah, the two-stroke race, which I think is on Friday, I'll be sat on a hedge watching that for definite. It's one of my favourites.
Great. Well, listen, Jamie, have a great one. All the best, and thanks for speaking to us. If you do a little 2-wheeling with us. Thank you. Well, I'm here with Brian McCormack at Greenock Racing, who are celebrating 40 years of road racing here at the Manx Grand Prix. So it's 100 years of Manx Grand Prix and 140 years of Greenock on the road. So Brian is here joining the team. How does it feel for you to be back here with the team, of course, and obviously for the 100 years?
Yeah, like last year was my first year with these guys, and it was brilliant. It was the best atmosphere I've actually raced in. You know, it was really good crack. The bikes were amazing, and there's really good history with some of the bikes as well. So it was a privilege to get asked to come back again this year. So 40 years. They've actually, the bike that I'm on, they had from new in 96, 97, and this has a bit of history with it. So it was a privilege to be asked to ride it.
Awesome. And tell us a bit about that bike.
Yeah, it's a 1996 Kawasaki, but it was Simon Beck who rode it back in the day as well, and he won the Ulster Grand Prix on it, and I think he finished 4th here on it as well in the TT. So there's a lot. I'm afraid to bend it or break it or do anything to it. So yeah, no, it's a lot of history with that, and a lot of history with the team. They've been through a lot of seriously good riders over the years. So I said it's a privilege.
It's a privilege for them to have you, obviously.
I hope so. Of course.
So you got a bit of experience around this mountain course as well, but you can never be grateful enough, can you, for the more laps that you can do around this course, not only for fun but also for knowledge.
Yeah, definitely for both. Yeah, exactly. I learn something every time, even on this is my 10th year coming to the TT, and I still learned a lot this year. And this year, going out on these bikes as well, it's different, so you get to see different parts of the track. It's a little bit slower than what we're used to on the super bikes, so you're learning every time you go around here. And I'd say the likes of John McGuinness and the boys, they'll tell you the same thing, you know, you still learn. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's especially 100 years is really, it's amazing, you know. I look back at a bit of the history and how it started and stuff, so it's impressive, and it's hopefully we'll get to do it for many more years.
And one of the biggest challenges on this beautiful rock is the weather, of course. So tonight, unfortunately, qualifying isn't happening. What do you do with that time? It's disappointing, obviously, but it's a great time for you to regroup, I guess, but it's frustrating.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what to do. It's I've been fairly bored sitting in the van all day, and I can't really do much for these guys. They do everything, so I'm just sitting around watching, to be fair. So I'm just putting on weight, sitting, drinking tea and eating chocolate. But yeah, look, it's so much to do around here anyway. Get out my mountain bike and try and do a bit as well. But the weather isn't, the wind isn't really pleasant up there on a mountain bike and in the mountains. So just chilling out, enjoying it, enjoying a few days off work and see motorbikes and go around chatting to people that you don't see like only a couple of times a year. So it's that's about it, really.
Great. And you've just been guiding me through this, so I just want to share it with you guys as well. So this is, of course, the celebration of 40 years of the team Ian on the roads. Tell us a bit about who we've got in here.
There's lots. I don't know many of these people. Like obviously, you know some of the people. Horse Tiger. There's Jim Hodgson actually is here. Who Rob is riding for him. He rode for him before as well. I'm here as well. I'm here. I'm trying to break the bike, but there's so many people on this. I don't know half of them to see it in pictures, but I know the names. You know, there's some.
Of course.
Yeah, you have Dino, Derek Shields. You know. We have Nathan Harrison, who finished second last year on the bike, and Rob won last year. So like it's for the history, and they're proving their point how good they are as well. So it's great to be riding for them.
And having those kind of teammates and previous teammates, you tap into them for knowledge or encouragement in any way?
Some of them are still very tight-lipped, and most of them are still racing, so they don't want to share their secrets. But I know we get on very well. Myself and Derek have been racing together for a long, long time, so maybe a little bit too long. And Rob as well. We've been around a long time, so we there's little bits and pieces we learn off each other, but we all want to beat each other the same, so it's still very competitive. But yeah, it's good fun atmosphere.
Mega. Well, listen, all the best. Have a great one. Here's for great weather tomorrow for the rest of the week. If you join us in doing a two-wheeling.
Two-wheeling? Sorry.
Thank you. I'm lucky enough to be sat here with Mr. Dave Madsen Migdal, who's quite a legend around this mountain course, with the most amount of TT wins in history. Starts and finishes. Thank you for correcting me. And rider liaison as well, and of course racing here at the Manx Grand Prix. So Dave, thanks for sitting with us. It's a pleasure to get some time with you, because I know you're extremely busy man.
Really busy.
So tell me, I'd like to touch on the rider liaison first of all, if you don't mind. So what a privilege, really, I suppose, but a huge taking, really, to take on and help these guys get ready for the Manx Grand Prix.
Well, the thing is, we do the courses when the lads come over, the newcomers, and it's a bit of a recognition and all that. But I always have looked after the newcomers, a lot of the Irish lads when they come over, and it's part of it. You just enjoy it anyway. So you enjoy helping people, and if they do well, it's even better.
Yeah, and keeping them safe by offering your knowledge.
Well, that's the main idea of the job, just to steady them up and just to make it easier for them. Because when I started, there was nothing like that. You just had to learn it by yourself. But now with health and safety in it, but it's a lot better by doing that way. So it's well worth the effort.
Great. And tell me, over the years that you've raced here, so coming from a classics perspective for our channel, all the different bikes that you've been lucky enough to ride, is there any particular one that stands out that you've really, really enjoyed taking around this mountain course?
Well, we're just working on now. We've got the RC 3750. I've had that since '90, and I've had some good rides in a senior TT on that, top 12. In the 400 we've had top 4th, 5th, and then one year we were leading the race, and I was 6 seconds in front and the engine blew up. The mechanic in the pit stop, he should have put oil in, but he didn't think he had time, so he didn't put the oil in and it starved itself and it did it again. So that was a disappointing thing. Then the next time we were out on the 400 and we were hoping to do well, it wouldn't start on the start line. And Martin Finnegan's bike wouldn't start either, so we both never started the race that year. So I've never really got, and then they stopped the 400s and the 250s at the TT, so it never really got used. It got used down to the southern and the northwest. Won the northwest one year, come second to John McGuinness the following year. But since then it's been in the garage for the last 13 years. So, no, the last 10 years it's been in the garage, it hasn't been used. So we decided this time, instead of running a 250, we'd run the 400 again. So we're just finishing that, and that's what the pitch, they were just doing the decals on the side just to make it look clean and tidy. So that's been rebuilt, and hopefully I'd like to think I'd go as quick as I did when I rode it back then. But we shall have to wait and see. It's just been a lot of work. Everything's gone against us. We had one engine turn up, and it was supposed to be good to go. I went to Castle Combe 2 weeks ago, and that blew up. Then we've come back again, another engine turned up, supposed to have been brand new, all rebuilt, and I stripped it just to make sure because it had been stood, and it wasn't as good as what I was told it was. So now we've got this one, so we're going up to Derby tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be good. If not, it'll be back to the drawing board again. But that's the one I'm looking forward to riding most. Because there's a lot of 400s out there, other lads riding the 400s as well. 500 Twin, the Honda, the classic, it's good to get into the top 7, and it's reliable and it should finish. So if the top boys start breaking down, we go up the lead, up to leading board. So that should be a good bike as well. And the RC I've had that now 23 years, no 33 years.
Wow.
That knows its own way around here.
Yeah.
But hopefully we just enjoy it.
I guess from a reliability perspective, that's one of the biggest challenges you're coming up against. It must be so joyous to jump on, finally have the bike ready, get on that mountain course, and then just hope and pray that everything lasts for you and support you all the way around to finish.
Well, that's a bit lot of it. I think I enjoy prepping the bikes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We don't work on a big budget. We do all the work ourselves and all the engines and all that. So it is quite satisfying to actually finish. You know what I mean? So I'm not, as long as I'm happy with my speeds and I'm not getting any slower, I'm happy with what I do. But it's age does sort of like come up to it as well. You get a little bit more sensible. So, no, we'll just see.
And Manx Grand Prix, then, it's crazy that we're here at 100 years, isn't it? And really phenomenal and special to be a part of it. How important is it for the riders to be a part of a Manx Grand Prix if they want to progress on the roads?
I think it is unique anyway. It's not every time. You know, a short circuit is a short circuit. You need a large budget and everything else like that, especially if you want to do BSB. Same if you want to come to TT, your budget is that much bigger.
Yeah.
And you need a stepping stone. And the Manx is a good stepping stone. The other lads have done the roads, or most of them have done roads, so they've got the experience and everything. And they've usually done some couple of Irish meetings, and they've just got the taste for it. So it's a stepping stone to go to the Manx, from the Manx first, then to the TT. And they realise if they're fairly good, they'll enjoy it. If they've got the budget, it's worth going on to the TT if you're up to that standard. But you need to find that budget to actually get up. You know, there is a big difference. It's okay being a club rider, but to go national level, then if you want to go from national meetings, you want to go to BSB, you got to be really good, and the budget to go with it.
Mm-hmm. And over the years that you've been here and you've raced here and all of your achievements, is there anything in particular that stands out? Any particular race or finish?
We had a couple. I won on that 400. I was leading and went out on the last lap. That was disappointing. But I don't know if somebody just phones that. But that was disappointing. But we did have a funny story about the Manx. We used to race. We used to race for Jerry O'Sullivan over in Ireland, and the two bikes used to turn up. And I used to race. The Ulster Grand Prix used to be on a weekend before or the same time as the practice started. But the bikes were so. They needed a little bit of work done before I could actually ride them, so of course we'd work on them. But anyway, the two bikes turned up, and the lads were out drinking. And this one lad that owns a bike shop in Drogheda said, if Dave gets on the podium, I'll give him 1,500 quid. And basically he thought he was safe. You know what I mean? That's why he gave her the 1,500 quid. So he said, if he gets on the podium, and those races, I'll give him 1,500 quid. So anyway, we worked all night on the 500 and had trouble all week. Gets to the race, and if I'd have realised, I thought there was a 20-second gap, but it was only a 10-second gap. But I came second anyway, so I was on the podium. So Jerry came running up. He said, "Oh, great, fantastic." He said, "Haven't you got a bonus?" He said, "That you got yourself £1,500 because you got on the podium." Oh, I said, "Great." So that was that, and then we had to go work back on the 350. We'd had problems with that one, and in theory, neither bike should have finished. You know, we cobbled the bike together, and it wasn't, it weren't brand new. But anyway, we ended up being third, so we were back on the podium again. So we go on the podium, and Jerry comes back. He said, "Oh, great, we've got third. That's fantastic." And he said, "That'd be another 1,500 quid." So I said, "Great, that's £3,000 I've earned this week." And Chris Kinley was interviewing us, and I said, I'd just like to thank Kennedy Motorcycles from Drogheda for my bonus. And but anyway, it was treated as a bit of a joke. And then we saw him down the pub at night. He said, "Dave," he said, "I'm a bit financially embarrassed at the moment. He said, I'm going on holiday next week, but I'll send you a cheque." I said, "Oh, thanks very much." So I thought it might be 3,000 euros. But anyway, following week, £3,000 turned up check. And but he's a bit of a poker player, but he thought he was on a safe bet. And of course, he thought he was being smart, but it cost him £3,000 for being smart. But
I bet you put it back into the bike there, did you?
well, part of it went on a holiday for the lads. We went to Spain, and the rest went on a new bathroom, which is still not finished. But,
great.
No,
Well,
there's a lot of stories. You know,
Love
it's,
it. I could speak to you for hours. I think we need to get more of that on tape. But listen, Dave, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to let you get back to the boys. I know you've got probably a busy night ahead of you. Have a great Grand Prix, and thank you so much.
Oh, thanks very much.
See you then. So, tonight's location, we are here at the Victory Cafe up on the Snowfell Mountain on the Isle of Man mountain course. So here as you just walk in the entrance, you see the walls of fame around me. There's quite an amazing collection here, and it's a pretty spectacular location to watch the racing from. And to be quite honest, to get stuck here for the day is pretty phenomenal. They got great pies, great cider and everything else, as well as all the classic bits and bobs that we're going to show you now that's on display. But all on the walls here, you've got different years actually. They're trying to fit everybody's signature on, but you can come in here and you can sign the walls. So you've got anyone from riders, team owners, to people that have travelled here to watch the racing, to get involved in the events, and enjoyed this fantastic space. So you got the beautiful log burner. You walk in and you can hear the sounds, the echoes of those machines that are out there tonight in tonight's session. Then you walk into the smells of the log fire. So come on in. So it's a family-run business. They've had this since 2019. But due to lockdown, they couldn't open until 2020. But it's a phenomenal building. It actually used to be Murray's Museum. So if you've been here before, you would know of that. It goes back many years, and it still exists, but in the south of the island now. And this is now a fantastic eating space, event space, spectator space. And they've got this great collection along the corridor here. So you've got the family's bikes and mopeds just along here. But look at what we've got here. The Manx Grand Prix. So this is owned by the Manx Grand Prix. And of course, during the awards evenings, the winners and best newcomers, all of that jazz, the winners will get put on this, and they will be lifted and placed on the shoulders of the guys who will then walk them through the crowds and take them to the stage. So I'm going to have a little sit on it, aren't I, before I leave? But yeah, that's an incredible piece of history right there. And we have just in here a bike getting built for one of the owners, Ben, who might be hiding in the corner there. So a local guy, Mr. Peach, who's from Peel, he's coming in on his spare time and he's helping build that bike for Ben. And how pretty cool is it? Super, super cool. Look at those tyres. What kind of bike is it, Ben?
It's a Honda XR 600 on 1987.
Oh. Honda XR 600R, 1987. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, my childhood dream bike.
Childhood dream bike. Oh.
Need to learn how to ride.
Oh, I love it.
I've also got my original, my very first ever motorbike.
Your very first ever motorbike. Check that out.
Go, Ben. How cool's that, man?
Oh my God. When are you going to get the seat put back on that?
I don't know where it's gone. That paint job was done by me as a child. Happy days.
What's with the yellow and the black?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be a good idea. I think I'll weed in the tank at some point as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll leave you to it. So much fun. What a fun workshop. So yeah, as you walk along the corridor here, you've got these reclaimed radiators. They're actually from the theatre in Douglas. The Gaiety Theatre is one of the old theatres, I believe, in Europe, but they've reclaimed these beautiful radiators. And as you head down here, you've got this cinema. So what would you do with a 20-seater cinema on a location like this? Of course you'd play. replays of the TT, and of course the Manx Grand Prix. So we've had a bunch of people in here eating, drinking, and they've all headed outside now because the sessions are just starting. But you'll see here, I have to show you. So if you've ever been to the Isle of Man in TT week, even for the Southern 100 of the Manx Grand Prix, actually anywhere else around the world, to be honest, you may have had the opportunity to see a group of stunt riders, I think I'm supposed to call them, called the Purple Helmets. Now, the Purple Helmets are from the Isle of Man. I believe they've been going for a very, very, very long time. They've just stopped last year. So they must have been going almost 30 years, I think it is. And yeah, sadly, they are no more. So what they've done is they've hung their jackets up, one of which is here for us to enjoy, on one of their bikes. Now, some of the crazy stunts they used to do are actually written on this little bit of paper, laminated paper here, is what the bike used to get used for. So Roller Man, Supermotos, Methane Man. I'm not going to explain what Methane Man, because just look it up on YouTube. And yeah, many, many more fantastic. So it's Monster Girl. That was one of my favorites. But again, yeah, go into YouTube and have a little look. But just here, so this is a classic piece of the old scoreboards that used to be on Glencrutchery Road on the start-finish line. So the scouts used to get involved in controlling and taking care of all the timings, the positionings of all the riders, and that went on throughout the history of almost the complete history of the TT. And it's recently been taken down since lockdown, and it's going to be digitally installed now. So this is the first piece that was allowed to be shown in public after they took it down. So this is an amazing piece of history, and for me, as a kid, I used to go up to that start-finish line. I'd go and sit on the bottom of this scoreboard and just watch the world go by. So it's the stories if this could talk would be pretty special. So heading down the corridor here, we've got some amazing pieces of art from Ryan Roadkill, and you've got your classic bikes here. So this space is obviously a hangout, it's a great viewpoint, but it's also a great place for people will drop their bikes in that they're trying to sell it. So you've got these classic bikes here. You've got this 1958 Norton that's on sale. Don't you just want to hear it fired up? And then you've got this Honda Black Bomber. This is a 450cc, and this is for sale as well. So they'll come here and they'll just display them as they're trying to sell them for everyone to enjoy, and hopefully passing on to somebody who will love it as much as they will. So I love this space. It's a great hub for classics, a great hub for classic enthusiasts. And I highly recommend a little visit because, yeah, like-minded people, if you love your classics, you will love this space, and you'll certainly love the classic racing that you can watch from this viewpoint. Two-wheeling. Well, I'm here with some Manx Grand Prix fans that are enjoying the Victory Cafe and the views from here. Now, the session's out, so you will see, here's some of the bikes going past. And we just got chatting to these guys and hearing why they've returned, why they've come back to the Manx Grand Prix. And Keith, welcome back. You said it's your 5th time here, is it?
Yeah, 5th time. And just enjoy the classic racing. It's a sort of an era that we can remember, or a lot of people do. Enjoy the two-strokes, really, 250 two-strokes, and that's the era that they're particularly interested in, really.
Yeah.
So there we are.
And who in particular, is a particular bike or a rider that you're here to really sample the delights of?
No, not really, just all of them. They're just amazing, I think, and to keep bikes going the age that some of them are is truly remarkable, and the speeds that they do.
And you said you hadn't been back for a little while, but this year it was a must that you had to get back here.
Yeah, well, this year it's such a big occasion, you've got to do it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And what are you riding yourself, Keith?
YDS5 Yamaha and R1Z.
Wonderful. Great. And have you raced any classics yourself? Have you raced at all?
No, I've done hill climbing, but
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how long are you guys here for?
Here for, well, it was 8 days.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I like your Manx scarf. I like the 3 legs. Love it. Listen, I'm going to let you get back to interrupting the session for you. Thank you for speaking to us, and enjoy your trip. Thanks so much. About the Manx Grand Prix, the people that it draws in. And for me, growing up on this island, I fell in love with the people before I did the bikes. And here I am with a couple of amazing characters, I would say. Danny and Sean, Danny from Cumbria and Sean from Utah, USA. Just been sharing some stories that I had to try and capture on camera, and maybe we'll get a few more out of you, I don't know. First of all, Danny, I just want to ask you, why are you wearing your wife's pants?
Because I've got no balls. It was a bet. Honest, it was a bet. Yeah. Somebody missed my. I never packed them. Honest. Well, you got to have a laugh, haven't you? Yeah.
No, they look great. They look great. I had to. He was pulling himself on the pants, so I had to comment on the trousers. So listen, guys. First of all, Sean, you got a speeding ticket on his slowest bike that Danny has.
Yeah, and the slowest bike I've ridden, and I don't remember when. So yeah, it's a great bike. Don't get me wrong, but it's geared down. It's just a little 250, and it was my bad. I had no idea what the speed limit was, and I really didn't know how fast I was going. So, but they told me, and he wasn't cutting me an ounce of slack. So yeah, 46 and a 30.
Where was it on the?
I was coming out of what is that, Ramsey down there,
Yeah.
and I just had a real nice little lunch and came around this turn and kind of got on it, and I didn't notice there's like 7 cops at the top of the hill, and he was mad. He pulled me over. He calmed down a little bit when he realized I was an idiot, and
You only got a ticket because he knew it was my motorbike.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Danny's bike.
I'm just glad I taxed it the other day. Yeah, 2 weeks on an untaxed bike. But yeah, we're all legal. Yeah.
Tell me, gents, why the Manx Grand Prix? Why did you decide to come to this event?
Never done it before. Done the TT, and some friends were coming and bringing Matt here and that. So yeah, just come to have a good time and to chill out and look silly.
Matt, who's hiding behind me and staying out of the conversation. Hello, Matt. Yeah. So, Sean, you were just telling me about a mega trip that you've just done. You've been, how many weeks have you been away or on the road?
I think this is my 6th week. I started in India. I flew into India on July 11th. We rented bikes just north of Delhi and rode. We did a couple thousand miles in the Himalayas.
And what bikes were you on?
We got some Himalayan 400s, the little Royal Enfields, which were perfect for there. Awesome. We did the world's highest pass, and we did about 14 passes, but the highest one we did was 19,000 feet, and then a couple 18s and 17s and on down. So we did through 3 of the countries up there, and then flew into Dubai, and then came and saw Danny, borrowed his bikes, and then rode up through northern England and Scotland, and then now here we are here. So.
And why the Manx Grand Prix?
Because I've always wanted to come. The Manx was just kind of worked in conjunction with the India trip and everything. Yeah. And we thought, well, that's a good way to end this. And my other buddy who I met, he's been on the road since April. And so we met in India, and he's marshalling right now at another turn. So anyway, that's why we ended up coming here, which is great. So.
And what have you thought of it so far?
It's awesome. I mean, the whole experience so far has been really, really good. Been a really good time. I expect it to be an amazing week.
Yeah.
So.
Shouldn't you be marshalling?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be, but I'm here with you guys.
He's supposed to be marshalling.
I mean, tomorrow I'll be marshalling tomorrow. Yeah.
Me too. Where are you tomorrow?
I don't know. I should know. They sent me the thing. Like 11, I think, is where I am. Just in between.
Tomorrow night.
Oh, really? Are you?
Yeah. So I might see you there.
We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
So have you raced, or have you just enjoyed riding?
I've never officially raced. I just get tickets. No. I do a lot of stuff at the Bonneville, the salt flat racing back home. We have a team that we sponsor from Russia, and unfortunately, because of the current situation, they haven't been the last couple of years. But just that sort of stuff. And I do just a lot of riding, dirt biking, and street stuff. I do a lot of traveling.
And with the Bonneville Flats, what's your involvement in that? You race, or you?
Well, we had a team for the last 6 years from Russia that would come over. They would send the bikes. I've got a motorcycle shop in Utah, and then they would send the bikes there. We'd stage, and we were just part of the crew to go out and help. So we did that 5 years in a row, and then and because of that, they started a race in Lake Baikal. It's a Baikal Mile in Russia, and it's on ice. And so we helped for a couple years with that. Then COVID, and then the war thing has kind of killed that for us. So I'm hoping that we get back to it, but we'll see.
And where's the most place that's taken your breath away or really blown you away when you've been out riding? So you've been on some adventures there. Is there any particular one that really stands out?
I mean, the Himalayas in India were pretty damn impressive. Yeah, they really, really were. And then, you know, this place is a pretty awesome place to ride. You know, this place and Scotland and England have been really, really nice. But two totally polar opposite countries, you know. But I would say seeing the Himalayas and riding through the Himalayas is kind of a top, you know, for me so far. So, yeah,
Great.
pretty awesome.
I love it. And Danny, you were saying that you run a bikers lodge of some
campsite in Cumbria. Yeah, Hags Bank. So we have a couple of bike events a year. Have people come from all over the world and just enjoy chilling out and riding.
Do you want to plug it? Where is it?
Hags Bank in Cumbria, Alston.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got some great off-roading, great roads, not many police officers. So Sean's coming back. Yeah, we're going to frame my bike in Alston.
And it's a great place. His place is, he's got bunkhouse, good camp spots. It's a really nice
come
place.
visit.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, more than welcome. We've got 10 years open this September, so we've got a party on, and yeah, I won't be there, but yeah, no, it'll be a good time. So yeah, shame Doug's not here, but we'll fill out for him. But yeah, no, just do anything biking really and have a good time.
He's got a pretty long list of riding too.
Okay, tell us.
A few years back, I used to do 25,000-30,000 miles a year and across the States, quite a bit of Europe, North Africa, and odd little places like that, that's all.
Any racing or purely adventure riding?
No, I soon run out of talent, so no talent, just crash when nobody can see. So, yeah.
And can I ask, can you share the story of how you guys met?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. My buddy Doug, who I met and rode, he met, well, how did you guys meet? That probably started, because that's how we ended up meeting, so.
Well, Doug, I had a message from Tiffany Coates, who's in the Guinness Book of Records, for travelling all around the world. She said, will you help this guy called Doug buy a bike from America? Never heard any more. Then I got a phone call at the bunkhouse. My name's Doug from America. Have you got this place for camping? I says, what, the Doug who I tried to buy a bike for? And he went, yeah, small world. So he got to he got to my place. We got on, borrowed my bikes, and we knew all the same people. So yeah, really small world, and just got on, and then luckily to meet Sean. Yeah,
I came with Doug and met him, through Doug. He's like, we're going to go to my buddy Danny's place, and he's got a bike there for you to ride. And so, and good dude, really good guy. It's been a good time.
We're like a married couple. Yeah.
I just sat down before listening to talking about being married and riding bikes. I interrupted that conversation, but maybe it was the talk of you two.
Well, I've not made the marriage bit yet.
No, my wife wouldn't accept it,
No, just the cooking.
Well, listen, gents, thanks so much for talking to us. Enjoy the rest of the Grand Prix. How long are you here for?
Till Monday, I think, or Monday, yeah.
So all the way through to the end?
Yeah, Monday, because he's catching a flight. Tuesday, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, end of a trip.
End of the trip. That's a good way to end it, for sure.
Absolutely it is. You have to come back for the TT?
Absolutely will. Yeah.
Great.
I'll get him a slower bike. See if we can get a ticket on it, I'll get you
a moped or something.
31 mile an hour.
I'm framing it.
Sean, thank you so much. Thank you, Danny. And Matt, thank you very much. If you join me in just doing a two-wheeling Classics. Thank you so much. So we are lucky enough to be here in the Manx sunshine down joining everyone here at Peel Day. So the Vintage Motorcycle Club have already done a rally and finished off here in Peel. We've got some of these stunning pieces of machinery from the Lease Museum. We've got the great Bob Taylor here going to tell us all about that in a second, and maybe his son Harry as well. And then we've also got the Maudie Do Motorcycle Club on the far end of the promenade. We're going to go check out with them. But first of all, look who we have here. Two legends on 2 and 3 wheels, Mr. Dave Molyneux and Mick Grant. Welcome to this event. It's brilliant to have you here, part of the centenary. Molly, how special is it to bring you 3 wheels here, part of the Peel Day?
Oh, it's brilliant, especially with the sun shining. But we don't get opportunities like this often to come and show the bikes off and let the, punters and fans see the stuff. And it's good history. It's great history if people want to absorb it and look at it.
And the sounds and the smells, hey?
Oh, it's like nothing else. Get the Castrol going again, and yeah, perfect.
And Mick, welcome back. It's great to have you part of this centenary. We could not have this centenary without you here, and of course the Peel Day, and you with these classics behind you.
I love the Isle of Man. I always have done, and I'm here twice a year, and I just love the place, and especially when it's like it is today. The bike they've got here for me today, it's Slippery Sam. It's the old 3-cylinder Triumph that actually won my first TT on in 1974, just a long time ago.
But it only feels like yesterday though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the memories from back then and racing that bike around the course, it must have changed so much for you, but it must have been such a golden time for you to be racing that bike around here.
It was. I mean, I wrote for Kawasaki and Suzuki and for Honda, but funnily enough, my most enjoyable times around here were on private bikes before that, in the early 1970s. You were your own person, there were no politics involved in it, you just rode the bike and just enjoyed it. And I've had a good career, and I've had a cracking career around here, but the private days in the early 70s were the ones I remember the best, with the most fondest memories.
Beautiful, beautiful. Molly, some amazing pieces of history here. Is there anyone that stands out that you would love to jump on yourself?
Well, because it was my year and I was of the right age, I would love to have ridden the RG500 up the front there. Of course, Mick, I'm sure, won a race or two, maybe around here on an RG, but he definitely rode them, and the 4-cylinder 2-strokes did it for me, definitely. And quite coincidentally, my TZ 750 is the one I won my first TT on, as Mick did with the Slippery Sam. So it's just nice that they've survived and we can let people see them.
I tell you what, Molly, tomorrow morning, with a bit of luck, I'll be running the RG that I'm going to run on Saturday. If you want to ride on it, we could organise it.
Oh my God! Now, is there any stabilisers? Are there any stabilisers? They're just fantastic machines. They are. All of the 2-stroke era for me is golden era. Yeah.
It's all about memories. It really is all about memories. From my day, Dave's day, we used to race as competitors against each other.
Yeah.
Me and Artie and Dave, and sadly people passed away now from that era. But absolutely enjoyed it. Still enjoy it today. And I had a little go from Spit Corner to here, so I haven't lost it, and I didn't fall on the floor. I got in the chair, so absolutely made up.
Great.
Really, really good. And I'd just like to say that everybody that's took part in this startup here outside will receive a little glass plaque from the Peel Commissioners and from the Lease Museum. And so everybody that hasn't been to the Lease Museum, and I'm sure there must be a few, they're more than welcome to come and see us, because we've got a good display there of 33 motorbikes. So it's open 7 days a week, 10:30 till 4, and please come and see us.
And you can get on the bike and put a Viking helmet on. I mean, hello.
You certainly can. Lovely.
Then, Bob, you've got such a great team that run the museum with you. What an incredible collection you've got that you can show off here today as well as part of this.
Well, thank you. It all started really with I've got a few friends with race bikes, and the opportunity came along to use the old jail at the Lease Museum. So we had a chat, and it was decided that, we'll put the bikes in and put them on display at the end of 2015, that was, and we've sort of, every year we've done a bit more and struggling for room now, so, but I must say, Mick has supported us from day one. He came and opened it for us, and he's been absolutely wonderful. And I only picked up the phone to Dave the other day to do this, and no hesitation at all. So, just proves what sort of people they are. And I've got a great team of lads there. Stuart runs it, and Jennifer, Peter, Roy, Gillian. Have I missed anybody out? But they do it for nothing, and it's a wonderful atmosphere in there. And then I've got the Mad German here, Manny, and I think Mary's gone missing because he doesn't want to be seen. But they've been prepping the bikes for the last couple of weeks. for this, and it's sadly we couldn't run it as we wanted to today, but I think we've more than made up for it this afternoon. So just want everybody to enjoy it.
And
Thank
speaking
you.
of mad Germans, Manny, so you came here for 6 months, and you still, how long ago was that?
28 years ago.
And he's still here, everybody.
I'm still here, yeah. It was not planned, no.
And apparently now called Germanx?
That's why
nationality?
That's also my accent is called Manx, yeah.
You've definitely got a Manx twang there.
Yes, yes.
And what kept you?
Yes, yeah.
What kept you here then?
Well, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The bikes.
And the bikes, and nowadays I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to support Bob a bit, yeah.
Yeah, great.
It's all our pleasure what we do, yeah.
Wonderful.
Good, yeah.
Well, listen, you enjoy the sunshine in this event. I'm just going to chat to Harry here. So Harry is Bob's son, and I've just found out Bob has had the museum since 2015. Harry's only just been there today for the first time. Harry, what's that all about?
Well, I used to come every year, and I had a few years off, and I just wondered what my dad was up to. So I've come down here, and there's all this going on. But it's been brilliant, you know. It's a labour of love for him, and it's been a great event today. It's brilliant.
Good. Well, listen, enjoy the sunshine.
Will do.
Enjoy these machines.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
And how proud of you of your dad, hey?
Very proud of him.
Great.
He's worked fabulously hard.
Fantastic. Well, listen, definitely reliving the passion here today. I'm going to go and check out more of these lovely 2 and 3 wheels and chat to more people. So, Mr. Brian Spooner, you are not too unfamiliar with this event, having collected quite a few achievements over the years at the Manx Grand Prix. So, fill us in about the history of yourself here racing on this mountain course.
First year I come over, I was actually on crutches. I come over on a day trip to the TT and managed to get to Quarter Bridge. And one of the lads we're with says, "So you like this all the way around?" Yeah. So I watched Steve Warden become a hero, to be fair. And I come over in '94 with mechanic Pete Spinker. Used to be John Williams' mechanic, John Newbell's mechanic. Mm-hmm. And it was a bit of baptism of fire, really. We did 2 laps in the van and set out down Bray Hill. And we did Saturday night, Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday night practice, and still not got a qualifying speed in. And come Wednesday morning, it was lashing it down. I went round and qualified. That was the first year. Finished 8th, I think. Wow. 2 reps. And then we, in '96, bought a new Honda. That went a little bit better. We were getting sort of top 7, 8 finishes. And we went from the Hondas in 2002 to Yamaha. And got on the podium 2004, set the fastest lap, finished second again in 2006, and I think there's 4 winners who've started 10 seconds behind me, so I had a bit of a target on my back. Did 28 starts, 25 finishes, 21 silver reps, so not bad on strokers, self-funded.
Wow. And you're here now, so with your history with this event, you've got to be here to celebrate it getting to 100 years, didn't you?
Yeah, we have come over for a break, 100 years of the Manx Grand Prix. Whether we see 102 is a questionable, how things are running. That's the politics between the Manx Club and the TT organisers. I think it's a real shame as they've not got the full week racing. I think they're trying to pack too short a time. This event has been affected because they got lack of practice time, basically. But it's good to be here. Nice people.
Yeah. You get to have a beer in the sunshine and then enjoy these beautiful machines. So tell us, what have you got your eye on here, Brian?
There's looks like the Honda's 98 to 2000. I had a new one, 98. sister bike to Joey Dunlop's actually, come off Ernie Coates. So yeah, I wouldn't have minded run out on that, or the reverse cylinder. One of those what ended my racing career actually. Went over the veranda 6 months before Connor Cummins.
Oof.
And it battered me.
Yeah.
And old bones don't mend like young bones.
No.
So that sort of, I started physio on the 5th of November 09 and got discharged in the February of 12.
Wow.
So, long injuries, long time, but I'm still here, and that's worth a lot.
Absolutely, you can still enjoy it in some way, right?
Yes, I sold my Amrar. That was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. And I'm just in the process of building a classic Kawasaki, which I would have liked to have been here for the 100 years, but I think it'll definitely be here next year for the Manx.
Okay. So that keeps you busy, is still building bikes, still having the passion to do that, and then taking them somewhere to show them.
Won't be shown. It's being built for race.
Great.
Get a good pilot on it, and I think it'll be something really special.
Awesome. Pilot over here on the Manx.
Yes, yes.
Oh, keep our eyes out for that. Well, listen, Brian, we're going to let you get back to your pint. Enjoy, have a great afternoon, and thanks for coming and joining us for the centenary celebrations. It's great to have you here. It's great to finally actually meet you in person.
It's been a brilliant time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, if you want to join me in doing just a two-wheeling classics. I just want to stroke it when I see it. I just think.
You haven't had a sit on it.
No, we haven't. No. Yes, please.
Ready when you are.
So, this beautiful MV Augusta here is owned by this wonderful gentleman here, Des Connor, and his partner Jackie. They take this all over the island, don't you, and show it off, and rightly so too.
Absolutely.
So, Des, tell us how it came about you actually owning this beauty.
Well, it was a bit of a long story, but my next door neighbour, who has sadly passed away, he had a collection of MVs and various other bikes. Beautiful, beautiful bikes. Brough Superiors, he had the biggest collection of Brough Superiors, I think, in the world. And when he passed away, I acquired this. So I used to ride another MV for him, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was a very kind man, Robert White.
Robert
Yeah,
White,
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
And it's the centenary, it's a Manx Grand Prix. You're familiar with the event, one or two of the events, aren't you?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I first had a wobble round in 1976. Yeah, all my photographs are in black and white, unfortunately. But you know, early morning practice. There's not many people have done that. That was an event to happen. Yeah, going down Bray Hill in the dark. Yeah.
You had a great set of hair, great hairdo then. I've seen some of the old pictures.
Yeah.
Hair envy, to be honest, Des.
I could have been in status quo, you know. Yeah, I think most people had long hair. You know, all the Neen clan. We all went to school together. We all started racing at the same time, and yeah, good times, good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jackie, you get to do this together and enjoy this beauty together.
Yes, I'm the main starter. This is my little baby there. It's a little starter motor. That's all I'm allowed to touch. Apart from the cloth to polish it as well, which is it's a bit of an honour, really. It is a bit of an honour. Yeah.
Right. And you get to race it, ride it, or you just like to show it off?
Unfortunately, there's no parade laps anymore. I did the last parade lap in, I think, 2019, and unfortunately, there was a couple of riders had bad accidents up in the mountain, and from then they said there'd be no more, which is a shame because, you know, it's a great event. People want to see these old bikes. They want to see them and hear them, and to not have them anymore, I think it's sad. But yeah, so now it's just more parading and, showing and making a bit of noise.
You've definitely been making some noise with that today.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bike, and it lives with me in the house as well.
Yeah.
So, you know.
In the house.
In the house.
Oh, absolutely. It lives in the front room. I'm not joking, Hayley. Yeah. It lives in the front room. Yeah. So if there's nothing on TV, I'll have a look at this instead.
I love it. I'm not surprised, and I would be doing the same too. What about the rest of these bikes here? So there's quite a collection of history here. Is there anything that really stands out for you, Des, that you would love to jump on or?
Yeah, I'd like to have a go on that RG 500 up there, you know, the two strokes again, an era that I grew up with, and to ride one of those I think would be really good for me. It'd probably terrify me, but yeah, because I'm used to the old four strokes now, so yeah. But all my racing was on two strokes, TZ 250s and 350s, and yeah, we grew up in the Smoky era, so it was good.
Great.
Really good.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you get back to the sunshine and probably getting ready to turn this over again, are you?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Wonderful. Well, listen, thanks for chatting to us. Thanks for sharing this beauty.
Okay.
And you just join us in doing a little two-wheeling?
Oh, two-wheeling?
Yes,
Okay.
two.
I thought you were going to promote the three-wheeling.
Two-wheeling classics. Thanks so much.
Yes,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Chin on the tank now. That's it. That's it. Sulby straight.
So, Stephen, these two are yours, and what a sight for sore eyes they are. And what a sight for sore eyes this weather is as well, to be showing these beauties off. So tell us, the Norton was your first purchase out of the two, is that correct?
No, it's not a Norton.
Oh.
In actual fact, because this lovely silver bike here is the very first bike that I built from scratch.
Right.
I.e. buy a chassis, forks, find an engine, and the engine is a 963 Norwich Westlake engine, which was built in 1983.
Right.
And the chassis is a replica 1960 Manx Norton.
Yeah, great.
So I put it all together, much to my brother's jealousy,
Yeah.
and brought it over here when I moved over in July 2017, done the parade lap on it, and it is an absolute animal of a bike.
Wow.
Very serious engine. I had 150 mile an hour out of it going down the Sulby Straight on a parade lap, which is a little bit naughty, but she's geared for 177 at 7,004. And today she's being a naughty girl, doesn't want to run.
Oh.
Now, the Black Rickman is 1970, and that went to Dorset and Hants Police with a 650 Interceptor engine in it. Cruised most of its life up and down the M27, nicking people. It came off the road in 1983, stood around for a while, and then it was re-engined. In 1989, 1990, Dave Norris, who built my big engine, he built that engine on Triumph Bonneville cases. Very fast engine, very fast bike, 145, 84 brake horsepower at 7,002, and I bought it looking like a horrible piece of machinery. So I stripped it all down, spent a small fortune on it, chassis being re-nickeled, new bearings, full paint job on the bits and pieces, and the way it goes. Beautiful bike to ride, plenty of room, comfortable, lazy.
Looks stunning. So do you just show them now? Do you race them, or do you just enjoy them on the roads?
I like me, and I like my bikes, right? So I just pray them or show them.
Yeah.
But because this is the next race bike, the Rickman, it's on the road on the Isle of Man for daylight hours only. So on really nice, hot, sunny days like today, I would be
And
smoking.
no lights or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
so I'd be smoking that over the mountain.
Yeah.
But my big bike, the 963, I am going to put that on the road as well because it doesn't get used. Sunday I'm at Derby with it, weather permitting, and I shall ride it round. But otherwise,
They're my babies, and I just take them out when I want to.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for bringing them here and showing them off.
Yeah.
They are stunning.
If I ran that up today, that 963 would have been the most loudest bike here. A friend of mine was at Bluff in 2017 when I done the parade lap, and I caught up with him about 3 weeks later, and I said to him, "Here, Vic," I said, "Where about? Oh, I know what you're going to say. What are you going to ask?" He said, "I was at Bluff Bridge." He said, "It's rather funny." He said, "Bike came over Bluff Bridge, and before it cleared the Raven, everyone immediately looked up the circuit to see the next bike coming through." He said, "I just knew it was you." He said, "You must have been just before the 16th mile marker, bearing in mind Bluff is 17 miles, and he just listened to my soundtrack coming in." He said, and the other funny thing was, I got a nice photograph when you landed, but he sent me 3, airborne, just touching down and fully landed. And everyone listened to you going away and didn't bother with the next bike that come over. And that was my friend on the G45.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope to hear it one day. You might have it going in Derby on Sunday, maybe.
Well, I've got to take it home tonight. I've got to take the tank off, take the carburetors off, take the spark plugs out as well to find out what the initial problem is, because the little red box there is the ignition system, and that's fully charged, so it should work. It fired up okay 2 days ago, so tonight I've got a little bit of work to do. And if it's not very nice weather at Derby Sunday, I won't bother running it up, because I won't bother taking it out in the rain. So I don't like my bikes getting wet. But we're at the promenade Sunday, fingers crossed, both will be running.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm going to go do the Sundance to make sure it comes out to play on Sunday so I can hear it.
And I'll tell you what, you can have a sit on my bike.
Hey, fantastic.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No
Thanks for
problem.
speaking to us and sharing the story. Have you joined me in doing a two-wheeler? Oh, yeah.
That is so comfortable.
Isn't it? Well, I am lucky enough to have bumped into Mr. Charlie Williams here, and he's going to chat to us and share some of his passions and loves for this event. Charlie, I mean, look at these classics here, and you are a classic legend of this mountain course, so it's wonderful to have you part of these celebrations.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, and of course, like a lot of the people, riders here this week, we all started our lives in the Manx Grand Prix, which I did way back in 1970. And a long time ago, but it was fond memories because there was no pressure in those days. The biggest pressure was just learning your way around, I suppose. But other than that, it was just great fun, and a great platform to get into the TT, which I never thought would even happen. I didn't even think of. You know, I live near Alton Park, and that's why it started. I started racing really because I got the interest, and I just wanted to start racing. I never even thought about winning a race, but just to get on the racetrack. And then once you start getting a bit better, you think, well, yeah, but maybe what about the Manx Grand Prix? Oh, crikey, you know, that's up there in the stratosphere, you know. Then before long, well, after a year, I was here doing it, you know, and then straight onto the TT. So I've got a very fond memories of the Manx Grand Prix, yeah.
And am I right in saying you had a little bit of three-wheeling action at the end of your career?
Yeah, you've got a good memory. Yeah, the only way open to me initially in 1969, go on, say I wasn't born then, that's what most people say, was the opportunity to be a sidecar passenger, which I didn't really want to do. I'd sooner be in control, but it meant I'd get on the racetrack. So I took the opportunity. I had 4 races with the guy who didn't have a clue how to ride this outfit, and we crashed 3 times, I think, after 4 races. Anyway, then I was thrown a lifeline by another guy who lent me a G50 matchless. There's one here somewhere up there. And I had my first race in 1969 at Snetterton I was just 19, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit older now.
Wiser. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I'd love to say so, but I'm not quite sure.
Now, what about all the bikes that you've raced and you've had a pleasure of riding over the years? Is there any particular classic that really stands out that was really special for you to be on?
Bikes and races, well, yeah, it's difficult. It's I get asked that question a lot, and the races over here there are one or two that stand out in my mind. Not necessarily races I won, but I know on the equipment. I never ever got a works bike to ride in the TT.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. I came very close to it in 1979 when I was going to ride the Honda Formula One bike because Mick Grant, who I've just seen over here, Mick had hurt himself at the Northwest 200, and then Honda came to me and said, "Look, will you ride the bike?" I said, "Yeah, I'm your man, no problem." And I'd been racing with Honda with endurance racing for a long time. And they said, I actually practiced on the bike. And then they said, look, you can't wear those leathers. I was sponsored by an American oil company called Bel-Ray.
Yeah.
And they said, we're contracted to Shell, and you can't wear those leathers. So basically, it was a friend of mine who'd fixed the wheel up in Belgium with Bel-Ray. And I'd not even signed a contract, but he'd helped me a lot early on in 79. So I said, well, in that case, I can't ride it. So I had to relinquish the ride and never got to ride it. And it would have been a bit different, but anyway, not a lot of people didn't get factory rides, did they? So, but we did. There was a bike that my pal built. I was due to ride that, and then when I got the sack from, well, not the sack, but when I couldn't ride the bike for Honda, they hurriedly put it together and fetched it over to the Isle of Man. And I rode it and I finished second to Alex George, who was on the factory Honda. So that was a bit of a special race, really. Yeah.
And what about competitors? So the years that you were racing, is there anyone that really stood out as you really looked up to? Are you to race against?
Well, Mike Halewood, of course. I was very fortunate. My first TT was 1972. And that was Agostini's last TT, so I've been in the same race as Agostini. I can't say I've raced him, but I've been in the same race. And I've certainly been in the same races as Mike Halewood. And in fact, in 1979, Mike's last race, he was second in the race and I was third. And that was a good ride on a 350 Yamaha. So it's been a pleasure and a privilege to know these people, it's just something you would never even think you'd ever get to experience. Yeah. There's so many good times, really.
Wonderful. I could talk to you for hours. Mr. Charlie Williams, everyone, thank you so much for sharing some of your stories, some of your classic memories. Really appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back to these beauties and your wonderful wife. If you just join me in doing a little two-wheeling, if you don't mind.
Yeah, cheers.
So we've just bumped into Klaus here.
Yeah.
Hi, Klaus. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Thursday. Anyway, we've just bumped into Klaus here. And Klaus is originally from Germany and moved here how long ago?
How long ago? Yeah. It is in 2018 when I moved over.
2018.
But I visited TT since 85.
Since 85.
Maybe I missed 4 or 5 TTs between 85 and 2018, but I'm always only turned up for the TT.
Okay. And then you had to move here because?
It was, yeah, because I fell in love with this island when I first turned up. Mm-hmm. I never saw a place like this before. The people are also friendly.
Yeah.
Even the Manx people, not only, I don't talk about racing and all stuff. And you've been so close to the racing, so close to the riders.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah.
And it was always thinking about. The problem was, I had a friend, or not a friend, I met him over here, and his father was still self-employed as an electrician. And he told me, you can stay here, you can work for us. And it was in the middle of the 90s, but I got self-employed in Germany.
Okay.
So I said, I have customers in Germany, I have to go back. Oh, phone them. To come back. I said, no, I can't do that. So that was the reason. When I've been not self-employed at this time, if I've been employed at this time, I would phone to Germany, send all the paperwork. Yeah. I'm staying here, I don't go back. Yeah, and then, since I'm living here, you see the Manx and you see the Southern Hundred, and it's such a nice place. I got proper work here, and I'm happy.
And you get to ride your bike. So tell us what you're riding.
I have at least 4 bikes. The DRZ 400 with supermoto wheels and also motocross wheels for the winter time to go in the field. And the other 3 are road bikes. It's a 750 from 85, it's GSXR, and 2 1100s from 87.
Awesome. Great. And what are you here on today?
I watched the vintage shows here, and I try to watch the Moody Do, but they are finished now.
I know, we just come down to see them. I think.
Yeah.
But there's a great collection of history here, isn't there? And,
This is always, friends of mine always told me, you are not the man to go for the TT. You have to go to the Manx company because there are more classic bikes on. But at this time, there were really classics bikes, like, what was it, made in 1930, whatever, 1940. You know, I always thought, this is too old for me. I'm not grown up with these bikes, and it's different. But now, at this time, there are many bikes here where you're grown up with. When I got 18 and got my driving license, and these are the bikes where I grew up with, and this now it's a different, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
You see a lot of really nice bikes.
And what kind of bike, if Klaus as a young boy had a bike on his shelf at home, what was the bike?
I start with a 50cc. I start when I was 14 because my grandfather, he was a farmer. And we went out on a 50cc when I was 12 years old on the farmland because we couldn't register it on the road. But since I was 18, I got my driving license and I start with 15 with a 50cc. In Germany, you could start with a 50cc. And I went up and up and up. And when I got 18 and got the driving license, I bought a bike, a proper bike, a GS 550 Suzuki with 4 cylinders. And it was a shock to go from a 50cc on this bike. And I thought, oh, maybe it's a bit too big. But I handled it. It was okay. It was close time. I was fine with it. And since then, I've only been on bikes. And was never a year or a season without bikes.
Yeah, wonderful.
And we went all over the world with the bikes, with friends. Been on many, many races all over the world. And at least that was the reason, 85 I turned up here. I said to my friend, I've been all to these races, but never to the Isle of Man for the races. And he told me, don't go there. And I said, why? You've been there. Yeah, I've been there 3 times, but don't go there. I said, you've been there 10 times, and you tell me don't go there. He said, because I know you. I said, what does that mean? He said, if you go once, you go every year. And he was right. First year, I had tears in the eyes when the boat left the island, and I had never had this feeling before.
Yeah.
When I left it, when we went on holiday, wherever, and went back, you always went, oh, we're going back home now.
Yeah.
But in '85, I told my friend, or a friend, I meet him here, first time, but he was on the boat with me on the way back, and I said, I tell you what, I'm going back to work now, but not back home. It was fantastic.
This is your home. This is your home.
Yeah.
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 Well, listen, Klaus.
I decided to my home in '85. I said always when I turned up here, I always came back home, and when I went back to Germany, I go back for work.
Oh, great. Enjoy the Manx Grand Prix. Thank you for sharing your story and welcome home. Yeah, you just joined me in doing a 2-wheeler. So I'm here with Brian, who is currently the chairman of the Mordy Motorcycle Club, and they've just been doing a parade, a show of some wonderful bikes here.
Show. Yeah, we do it in Grand Prix and TT, and basically it's to put on a free event for bikers who've paid to come here, who can meet up with like-minded people, enjoy the event, and lucky enough today the weather's been with us.
Glorious.
And it's just what we do, and it's very popular. I mean, we've had, I don't know how many people here today. I would say a good 4,000 or 5,000 have been through the day, and it's what we do, and it works really well. It's just for a bit of fun, just to give back to people who've travelled here to watch the event, and just have a good time.
And tell us a little bit more about the club.
Well, we've started off here in 1993. We've been going ever since. We've got 52 members at the moment. And basically we're a bike social club, if you like, or some people would say drinkers with a bike problem. It depends how you want to word it. But yeah, we ride, we enjoy bikes, trikes, and we have fun with it. And this is all part of it. It's all part of the community of bikers.
Great.
And how we enjoy things.
Wonderful. And we've got to explain to the viewers if they don't know what Mordy Do is.
Mordy Do is Manx for Black Dog.
Yeah.
Hence the reason the club started in Peel, and of course you have the Mordy Do at the castle as part of our history.
Yeah.
So that's why we took the name.
Mordy Do is the Would we say, how would we describe the black dog? Is he a spirit or
a mythical creature that roams the castle?
Yes.
It still does, so I'm told.
Yeah, to protect us, obviously.
Yes, to keep away from anything from the castle.
Great. So your club is all about protecting and having fun, obviously.
Having fun, I think, more than anything else. Yeah, I think we're a bit past the protecting stage, but yes, having fun.
Yeah, great.
Having fun.
I love the turnout, and I love the people that you guys draw into the events that you put on as well. It's always wonderful to see.
You have a big mix. You have everything from young and old, and a range of bikes from modern to classic.
Yeah.
And you just have a good fun of talking to people. The people you talk to have all different experiences, everything to do with biking and the biking life, or racing and the whole culture of it. That's great. Yeah, you meet some really good people.
Love it. Love it. Well, listen, you're getting away with some of the pack up, actually, aren't you? Maybe I should keep you talking a little bit longer. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for speaking to us. If you join me just doing a two-wheel in. So we're here at the Lease Museum in Peel, and there's a pretty spectacular array of historical and classic bikes here, isn't there, Stu? And Stu Pitts is one of the volunteers here, many volunteers that keep it going. Bob Taylor, we chatted to earlier today, who opened this museum back in 2015. And Stu, when did you come on board and get involved?
We've been here now about maybe 5 years with Bob, big mate of mine, and I'm more than willing to help out with Bob here. I'm spending half of my life down here now. But I enjoy it, I really do, and I really love the people that come in here, and we chat about everything, like we really do, and it's not just motorbikes, it's anything, but I really enjoy it, and I love the people here. And this little place here, upstairs was the courtroom, and this was a prison going back 250 odd years ago, and then we have the chains on the wall there, which held the prisoners. There was 30 prisoners either side, men and women. And the story has it that there were 6 women prisoners down here and 1 man, and they had to take the 1 man out for his own safety. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. So take of that what you will. But getting back to the motorbikes, we have a good little selection here. There's a few gaps today because we have the parade around the corner, but you know, we'll just go through the bikes a bit at a time if you want. We got the 2 little Hondas here, and they were very popular with my generation way back in the 60s, and it was normally the first bikes, cracking 2 little bikes, first bikes to have electric starts. And then we move on here now into the 70s, which is the 380 Suzuki and the 400 Kawasaki. 2 road-going bikes from way back in the 70s, very popular in the day, they're still popular today. And then we move on to another little rare bike here. The DWN is a Triumph made in Germany, 2 cylinders, 1 plug. And there's been lots of arguments in here how that works. So we leave that to the experts. And then we move on to the Scott 2-stroke from way back in the 1920s. And Bob has put a lot of money into that little machine, which would have took part in the TT way back. Then we move on again to the Rudge, which is Bob's favourite bike that he takes out on parade laps. And he loves that little bike, yeah. And we go on to the Sunbeam here, which is about 1935. Another good bike that's been paraded quite a few times around the TT course. And we love them all here. This one, and the flat tank Norton would have competed in the TT in their day. This one, 1928. And believe it or not, that would have averaged 70 mile an hour around the TT course 100 years ago. Hard to believe, yeah.
Incredible.
And then we go on to the Aerial Square 4. There's quite a few arguments here about the Aerial Square 4. That was the back 2 cylinders would always get too hot, but then other people say no, they've got the jetting all wrong. So I don't know, but that's what that side is like. We have those 2 on the back here. We have people sitting on them getting the photographs taken. Very popular. And all the kids come here, and we had a class of school kiddies here from the QE2 school, 60 of them, and we had them in 1 at a time on there. And what a day we had with them kids, like, you know. Now we're getting on to the 2 classic British bikes, if you like. my generation, I was too young to own one, and I didn't even have the money to buy one. But way back in 1959, £211 brand new, 25 grand today. So it just shows you how things go up in value. And of course, we got the Trident, which is probably my favourite of the whole collection here. But again, it's my era. So, you know, I just love looking at them.
Yeah.
I never get tired looking at them. And we move on here to a race-winning bike of Milky Quails, way back in 2002. Milky won on that, the 400 Honda. A little picture of Milky there, like, you know, yeah. It's not what the bike looks like, it's what's in the engine. Lots of trick parts in the engine. Then we move on then to the RG500. Very, very popular bike, race-wise and road-going. That's a road-going version. But the race bikes, way back in 1978, lots of boys had them, raced them. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant bikes. 180 mile an hour, way back them days. Then we just acquired that one this last little while. The big CBX 1000 six-cylinder Honda. We haven't had that out riding yet, but we will do, no doubt about it.
I didn't see that last time I was here. When did you acquire that?
About 3 months ago now.
And what happens is, does Bob go looking for things and purchase things to add to collection, or do
Bob
people
will do
call
that.
in?
He will go on online auctions and buy something that he's looking. He was looking at somewhere foreign, Italy, I think it was. Like he was looking for a Gilera, but somebody wanted it more than Bob. So you're limited to what money you want to spend. So anyway, the other fellow won that one, but Bob will be back to get another one. You can guarantee.
Definitely.
Then we have a little special one here, little Kawasaki 100cc two-stroke. It's as noisy as hell.
Yeah.
It really is. Rattles your brains out. And then we go on to this one here, Matt Jackson's little 125 Honda. Now, Matt had a bad crash at that on the Southern 100 and terrible injuries. But he's recovered from all of that. And he comes in here, and he's in here again this week. So that's Matt's little one.
And his leathers.
And that's his leather. And that's what the nurses do here when you go into hospital. They just cut the leathers off you. Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant. Yeah. And then
You've got others.
what we got?
So as we move up to here, Stu, you've got a different collection here.
Picture on the wall. We've got a picture of Percy Tate. He's the works rider for the Triumph Slippery Sam, very popular bike that Mick Grant was going to parade today, but unfortunately, but Mick is here and the bike is here, but that's round the corner. And then we've got Percy's helmet and leathers there behind you. And that portrait there, that's Wobbly Bob's wife Jane that does that. Absolutely brilliant portrait there. And then all the collection of stuff in behind you there. We have the cups, and I've been lucky enough to get 4 silvers and 3 plaques in my career and things. Yeah.
In Manx Grand Prix.
In the TT. TT, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Like you know. Then we move on then to these helmets up here, and now you can blame this fella here that wore this helmet. That's Dave Molyneux's dad's helmet. And then when I was 14 or 15, he got me into motorbikes. And so the rest is history, as they say. Okay. But that's Dave's dad's, that's John Molyneux's helmet, and that's Ernie Lease, who both did very well in 1969 and 70 in the TT. And I think they got a 3rd and a 5th, 3rd and a 4th. No, sorry, a 7th and a 3rd way back in 69 and 1970. And then we've got Dick Greasley's helmet and a few others there. And we managed to get a little Honda helmet from one of the Japanese team way back in 1959. Wow. So we were lucky enough to there. And then there's a picture of myself on here when I got on the rostrum in my day, way back in 1991. That's myself, Stewie Pitts. Then it was Artie Oates, Dave Wells, sadly passed away now, Mick Boddis, Steve Mace and Neil Smith. Fantastic. And then we've got pictures of Joey, well-known pictures of Joey there and there. Pictures of Dave Molyneux up there. And then we got the master himself, Mike Hailwood. And then we got Stevie Hislop there. Yeah. When he won the thing. That's brilliant, yeah.
Wonderful. And what about this? I hear this is a favourite of Bob's.
Yeah, this is Bob's latest collection. The 172R, yeah. And then we were going to have that in the parade today, but we've just discovered we got a fault with one of the carburetors. So we couldn't get that out. We have it running, but it's not running properly. Yeah. So we just left it there. And then left it for another day, as you might say.
We saw one of your other volunteers, and she's made a centenary cake, hasn't she?
Yes.
With Jim Hunter and Bob on it, and
Yeah.
then she got
She's got a little
model of this off the internet and put it
That's
on top
right.
of the cake.
Absolutely brilliant, like, you know.
It's a
So no
fantastic
doubt we'll be digging into the cake later.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We'll come
yeah.
round for a slice.
Yeah.
And tell us finally, just Mick Lofthouse's
Mick
bike.
Lofthouse little bike here that's been fully restored now, and it's another one in our collection here. So we look forward to everything.
Yeah.
But what we haven't got here, we haven't got more room to put more bikes.
Yeah.
So we'll have to build an extension, I think, further up.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've got plenty of memorabilia to fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just that we just haven't got the space at the moment.
Well, listen, it's easily missed if you don't know about it, but make sure that if you come into the Isle of Man, you pay these guys a visit. It's in Peel. It's a beautiful place to visit as it is, and get a kipper bap from from Norman. Is it Norman on the promenade there?
Yeah, well, and it's one up the side here.
Yeah,
Absolutely
and
brilliant,
come and see this great collection of bikes and memorabilia, really, and speak to the great Stu Pitts or Bob Taylor as well, who started and
Well, I
opened
never
this.
get tired of coming in here, looking at the bikes and chatting to people.
Yeah.
And, you know, we get people from all around the world here, and now they're getting to know me, but I still don't know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hundreds and thousands of people come in here, but I really, really enjoy it. I really do. Yeah. And I never get tired of looking at outside.
No way, no
Fantastic.
way.
Yeah,
Well,
fantastic.
listen, Stu, thanks for chatting to us. It's definitely our slogan for Two Wheeling Classics is relive your passion or relive the passion. And this is definitely
It's definitely my
the epitome of that, isn't
yeah.
it?
I just wish I was a bit younger to do a bit more competing. Yeah.
You're wiser, though. You're wiser,
Well,
all right?
they say you're wiser as you go, but I don't know so much.
Well, listen, Stu, join me in doing a two-wheeling. Really appreciate your time and the museum.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Well, evening session qualifying has just finished, and we were invited, or maybe invited ourselves, by the wonderful Dave Peters here, and then we got Tim Gower. So they're here, and they booked this fantastic spot here, not far from the Cronky Body. And we were lucky enough to come across these guys last year, and they invited us up, and we are simply addicted to this space. So, Dave, you always come back for the TT, don't you, and the Manx Grand Prix, but you don't actually live in the UK anymore.
I do live in the UK, but for part of the year, I'm in New Zealand for some of it, and in the UK for the rest of it. So I've got that. But this is one very special, magical place, and yeah, you're addicted to it after a while.
Why does it draw? Course car, everyone. There we go. That's Rose Open. Why does it keep drawing you back?
It's unique in every support. You know, if you look at the level that people have to concentrate here to anything else, so you know, it's like racing motor cars in the '60s, where you know your life's on the line, but it's really real. You know, for people to run and watch sports, this is the top level of all of it. It really is. And watching people here, newcomers, and watch their faces and go and talk to them back in when the first time they do a lap round here, and it blows their mind. You know, they can see as many video games and see as many little play or anything, but once they're here, it's just like it's a different space. You know, it's real. Best motorcycle race in the world.
Indeed.
Travelling Marshal just gone past there. What a job that is, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, I think they're bucking for the fastest lap time, to be honest. But yeah. But what a place that we find ourselves in, don't we? Totally addicted. I mean, I have to say, I have this guy to thank, for my presence here. He's rekindled my enthusiasm. It gives me somewhere to stay, and he invites me here.
And you've been here quite a few times, Tim, haven't you? So tell us what the first year you were here. What was the first year here?
Probably 1971 or two.
And what bike were you using then when you were there?
A BSA A7, I believe, back in the day. Do you know what they are? Before you were born, and it was probably 14 years old.
Wow.
But yeah. So.
And how many times have you been back? You've been a few times, haven't you?
I've been a few times. Back in the 70s, 80s. Stopped coming as soon as I had kids in the mid 80s. But I came one more time in late 90s.
But you've been you've come all the way from Australia to watch this.
I have come.
Australia.
Yeah, crikey, mate. Yeah, I've come all the way, and not just for this, but to come back to England because I am English, and I moved to Australia 4 or 5 years ago. But
there is no draw in the world that is best this one. This is unique. You can travel the world, you won't find anything like it. Maybe Northern Ireland a little bit, but this is, the one. And it does draw you back and back and back.
Yeah.
So, Hayley, what do you think about watching here, particularly?
Incredible. So you just had me down there. Well, you didn't have me, but you suggested it. So I happily jumped at the chance. Sat down there just on the grass as they were coming down here. So you've just educated me on the gully and how they were using the gully at the top there.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal to watch. It was just...
How long you hear a bike completely flat and the backing off for a corner and then tank slapping past you and the rest of it. Sometimes two abreast.
Yeah.
I've got pictures here which looks like a fast frame of the same bike. It's three bikes in the same frame.
Wow.
3 bikes, 160 miles an hour in the same shot.
Wow. And we've got to mention you got the Carl Cox Motorsport jumper on there. Michael Dunlop, of course, been linked with Carl for quite some time now.
And Carl's stayed with Michael through thick and thin, but he sponsors lots of people. He sponsors sidecars in New Zealand. He runs a junior sports in New Zealand, runs a whole series very quietly. Massive bike fan.
Yeah.
Massive bike fan, and he helps people. I was involved with him with one of my friends, and he sponsored a bit of it. He's just a really lovely guy and a good friend, as you know. He's a good laugh, and he absolutely loves it to pieces.
And he knows a talent. Michael is just a beast around here, isn't he?
Yeah, what a TT.
Yeah.
What a TT. So even look with Dean, you look at the three of them in a TT, unbelievable, aren't they? Absolutely unbelievable.
And you've been involved in sponsoring quite a few riders or supporting quite a few riders over the years.
I just think, opportunities when you're young is very hard. And if you can just help in little ways, just to get someone in the spotlight a little bit and into British Championships, it's lovely. It's a really lovely thing to do. It's lovely to see them grow, and it's lovely to go to teams afterwards. That's really, really nice.
Well said, mate. Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without guys like you, nobody gets to start. So that's true.
And they sound great. The roads are open, folks. The roads are open.
They are.
So there's some stunning bikes out there that have entered this year. It's centenary, and normally we get them anyway, but there's nothing. The TT is just an incredible spectacle of an event. But coming to the Manx Grand Prix, there's just something. So it's just different, isn't it? There's something really, it's special, the TT, but this here, the history of it, the classics here, the history.
Yeah. I haven't quite seen, it from 1923, but not far off that, I guess. but yeah, bike development is unbelievable. Since I started coming in the 70s, I've seen. Bikes get faster and faster and faster, and how some of these riders cope with that, I just don't know. I'm terrified most of the time, I'll be honest, and I would never be capable of anything like what they do, never, and that's part of the attraction, of course. You buy people that can do things that we can't.
Yeah.
I think this is a very special way where you see people, newcomers the first time, trying to get qualies to go for the TT. Yeah. On the back side of that, you see bikes that run across classes. So, for example, you would go with a large capacity motorcycle with the XR69s and now you've got 750s. And you always wonder if a 750 was quicker than 1100s or not. The class moved, you never got the chance to see when they race. Now you do. It's very interesting. You'll get Michael, who's on a XR69, be very successful in one, now running on SRAD. And he's looking, maybe had a bit more torque with a larger engine, maybe a bit lighter now with the 750, maybe the powers. But that judge between was a 750 better than the old 1100s, you never knew at the time. Here it gets properly tested. It's very interesting, very, very interesting.
Oh, I love that, Dave.
Along. It's true though, isn't it? But it also brings in rider ability, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. But you've got your top guys here.
Of course
your top three. You're sitting with 2 of your top 3 this year.
Yeah.
Without Peter being here, but with our top 3, you sit down there. You've got Dean, Michael sitting there. And you've got a 916 Ducati for the first time. It's interesting as it evolves forward. RVF's doing a bit more now. With lease bikes, it's interesting. Really interesting. But it's interesting synergy.
Yeah, I get that. That's but from my perspective, I haven't been here for many years, and I've got to get back. I've got to get back. You know, but as I say, but also I have to mention my wife Jackie, because without her, financially, I wouldn't be here, because she plots plans. She's like, you know, grandma with the coffee cans, budgeting for everything, and this is what enables it, you know.
Wonderful.
Because I have money and I burn it.
Nice one, Jackie.
Exactly.
Well, listen, gents, thank you for sharing this amazing space with us. I will be back year on year whenever I can get away with getting out here. Thank you. We had a great barbecue last year. It was very good. But listen, what's the name of the cottages? It's Cronkbourne Farm, isn't it?
Yes, it's Cronkbane.
Cronkbane
Farm.
Cronkbane Farm.
Yeah.
But you're not far. Fantastic place to stay, isn't it? But also just it's just down from the Cronky Vody, so you can jump over the hedges. We've been jumping over fences and hedges just to get to a couple of other viewpoints, and one of the viewpoints is up at the Cronky Vody, so it's an ace
and
spot.
You're at Molyneux's.
Yeah.
Actually, at Molyneux's Corner for a reason. You know, you listen to a 600 sidecar here, absolutely flat out halfway down the Cronky Vody straight, flat out through Molyneux's, flat out through their straight. It's probably literally flat out for 35, 40 seconds on a high pitch. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could you squeeze in just a little mention of the Britain's greatest sausage at all?
Well, it is famous for the Little London chili sausages, which unfortunately the Manx Dragons have had a fantastic run. We introduced them to the Little Londons, so much so that the Creek had to change its menu at one point.
The Creek in Peel,
which is the best place ever to eat. You know, honestly, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know,
but that hurts. Every Manxie, that will hurt them.
So the Little Londons. I forgot about the Little Londons.
Well, gents, listen, I'll let you get on with your evening. Thank you for chatting to us. Really appreciate it. Thanks for showing me a little spot as well, and enjoy the rest of your Manx Grand Prix. If you can join me in doing just a little two-wheeling.
Come on.
Yeah. So we are lucky enough to be here at the Vintage Motorcycle Club Rally down in Laxey, and what a glorious day it is to be showing off these stunning pieces of 2 and 3 wheels actually we've got here. And we've got Derek that's joined us for a chat today, and this stunning Moto Guzzi. Derek, tell us a little bit about why you decided to enter this into the rally today.
Well, I enter it every year, and like to give the bike a run. You know, it's an old one now, so in 1953, it's 70 years old. So a little bit younger than I am.
It's a happy birthday to your bike, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's a great thing, you know, you get off around the roads in the Isle of Man with like-minded people. And that's it, really, you know, that's why I like it.
And tell us a little bit about how it came about you purchasing this bike and why you went for this particular one.
I think I've always liked Moto Guzzi, and this came up for sale at a dealer, but it'd been in England in 20 years in a bookshop, so it was a bit of an unknown quantity. But as it happened, it turned out to be really good condition. So needed bits and pieces doing, that was all really. And it's not the fastest machine at all, but that's not the idea. But no, really like it, you know.
But it sounds and smells wonderful.
It don't smell too much, but it sounds well.
Okay, great. And tell us a little bit about the engine.
The engine, it's a 500 and it's horizontal, lays horizontally, like the cylinder's flat. Yeah. It only pushes out about 22 brake horsepower, 4-speed. Yeah. Outside flywheel on the other side, which they nickname bacon slicer. Okay. So, you know, do you know a bacon slicer? In the old days, it's a big disc that goes around and you push the piece of ham along it.
Okay.
And it comes off in rashes, like, you know. And that's about it there.
Great. And wonderful to be here for the Manx Grand Prix for the centenary.
Oh yeah, I live here.
Yeah.
I might say I'm a winner of the Manx Grand Prix. and we've got a reception at the Governor's House on Thursday.
Yes.
That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Where the governor, all the winners are going there, that are able to go there throughout the period of its 100 years. And I don't know what will go on there, but there's wine and canapes, I think.
Sounds wonderful. And what year did you win it, Derek?
No, 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
How fantastic.
The classic senior.
Classic senior.
Yeah,
How wonderful to stand on that top step.
Fantastic. Yeah. I've been doing it since 1985 on various machines. And I gained a podium 2002, up third. And I never thought I'd be on the top. But there you go. Every dog has its day, doesn't it?
Wow. Brilliant. Well, listen, Derek, going to let you get to... I think you guys are going to go up to Ramsey now on the bikes, aren't you? What a wonderful parade to watch. So thank you for chatting to us. Manx Grand Prix winner 2004, everyone. Thank you for chatting to us, Derek. Take care and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much. Two-wheeling. So I'm with Dennis and Adriana here. They're over for the Manx Grand Prix on this delightful triumph. So tell us, Dennis.
59 Tiger 100.
Okay, fantastic. And how long have you owned it?
About 10 years.
Okay.
Yes. But I have other old bikes as well. This is not the only one. But nearly all triumphs.
Right.
Of course.
And do you work on them all yourself?
Yes. Yes. Because I am an engineer by trade. So I do everything myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why have you entered it into today's rally?
Sorry, I
Why
did.
did you decide to enter it in today's rally?
I enter every year.
Yeah.
So it's a nice thing to do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you come over to the Manx Grand Prix every year and you enter this rally?
Yes, yes. And my friend Adriana,
Yeah. Hello. Hola.
she comes from Argentina.
Argentina, one of my favorite countries.
Yeah, really.
Yes. So how are you finding the Isle of Man?
I feel very lovely. People are very kind, and it's a lovely place. Amazing, really. It's joy. It's a joy.
And she wants to come and live here.
Yeah, it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's peaceful.
It's peaceful. Yeah.
Maybe not peaceful when the bikes are out.
No, in those time, but
that's a whole. That's nice. That's nice, not peaceful.
Just 1 month in a year is. I can afford it.
And you love the classic bikes as well?
Sorry?
You love the classic bikes also?
Right. The old. Well, yes, yes. I'm starting to appreciate a lot. They are really treasures. Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll let you get on with it. I know the guys are leaving for Ramsey. Have a great time at the Manx Grand Prix. Thank you for speaking to us and sharing this great bike with us. Thank you so much.
See you later.
Yeah, definitely.
See you
Thank
later.
you, guys. You join us in just doing a two-wheeling. Yeah. Thank you. Gracias. So I'm here with Richard and Ruth, who are just about to take off up to Ramsey with the rest of the rally, and they're here on this stunning Norton. So tell us a little bit about it.
It's 850 Norton, 1976. I've had it for about 6 or 7 years, and hopefully it keeps going.
It will, I'm sure. Why classics?
It's just better, isn't it? It's just, yeah, I like the old bikes. And I know this is not that old, but yeah, I just like the classics.
And the Manx Grand Prix is pretty special for the
The
classics.
best ever.
Yeah.
You won't get better than this.
And is it? How many times have you been?
Oh, I've only been about 5 times, but Richard's been
Like 53.
53.
Yeah.
Wow.
First time I was 15.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. And why keep coming back?
Well, just got to look at it, haven't you? Tells you.
the island is so special. It's amazing, and to be able to do this, and so many people from around the world have come. It's such a good idea. Long may it last.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there's so many classics here racing as well, aren't there? Some tremendous bikes out there, and races, of course. Are there any particular bikes that you are excited to see out there racing?
Yeah, Kelly Carruthers on his 500 Honda. We're from the Somerset VMCC and we sponsor him.
Okay.
and hopefully does well.
Wonderful. Well, listen, guys, I'll let you get back to it. Thanks so much for chatting to us. You've been just joining us and doing a two-wheeler. Thank you. Enjoy the rally. Thanks so much. So Alan has said yes to speaking to us. Just interrupting your sunbathing. You're looking like you're enjoying it there.
Really, yeah, we've dropped on. It's a lovely day.
And it's stunning, isn't it, down here? All the bikes and the collections that have entered into the rally.
Absolutely.
It's a beauty to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit of paradise.
It really is in many ways. Now, your son is just over there. He didn't want to speak to us today.
It's shy.
But you, both of you, have got these stunning pieces of machine, so stunning machinery. Tell me a little bit about them. So you've opted for Norton. So where does the Norton?
Well, it's a very, very strong English brand. Philip's bike was bought as a project. The engine and frame, the bike was complete, but then he's re-engineered basically the entire bike to what you see today. It's a Honda 750 engine in a traditional Norton wide-line frame. Bespoke handmade exhaust system, bits and pieces off various bikes. In fact, some people ask us how many bikes were ruined to make that one. But it's meticulous. It's a very, very well put together motorcycle.
All leading show front brake.
Yeah. It's a Honda engine, Norton frame, Suzuki front brake. But yeah, it's so selected parts from many good motorcycles.
Wonderful. And why go for the Honda engine?
As I say, it was bought together, and we have just basically it's got new forks, new wheels, new seat, new tank, new exhaust system. So there's not a lot of the original bike left, but the concept was built by another gentleman. It just so happened, I think, that engine lended itself to go in size-wise to that frame.
Sure. Okay. And then tell us a little bit about this beauty here. So this is yours?
That's my Norton. Again, it's a modern replica Norton frame, 850 Commando engine, which has been well worked as the engine. We've only been into the top, but it does have a race cam, and everything inside is all polished and lightened. It's a piece of real eye candy. I've got many bikes, but this is the one that I take the cover off on and I stand dribbling.
Yeah.
And it's a very eye-catching thing. It's a bespoke exhaust system again. We've made the exhaust system for it. It's a Triumph rear hub. Honda brakes on the front. Honda brake calipers on the front. Brembo brakes. Siriani forks, Marzocchi yokes. So a lot of the front end is Italian. So it's just a proper mixture. But as you've said quite rightly, it's a very eye-catching bike.
Absolutely is, and the wife doesn't mind polishing it, you said.
No. She's very understanding. She's just happy that she's got the remote control for a week.
So yourself and your son, this is a hobby that you do?
Well, it's a hobby. My son is an engineer.
Yeah.
Whose hobby is cooking, and I was in catering, and I have the hobby of engineering. So it's a bit of a turnaround. But yeah, he's very meticulous. Spends a lot of time. It's got to be right.
Yeah.
It's near enough's not good enough. It's got to be right. And I think it shows in the work and the standards of things that he turns out.
Absolutely. And Mick, you're on the back of one of these, are you?
No, I have my own bike.
Oh, you're own down there?
I have a 1100 BMW Boxer Cup.
Superb.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
is it all here for the week, for the Grand Prix?
Yeah. And by the way, it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mick.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. Yeah, my sister's just rung me.
Oh.
78.
No, I wish. No, 73.
73.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 73. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah,
What
we're
a
here
way
till
to
next
spend
Thursday. Next Thursday. So
wonderful.
yeah,
I could
good
sing
holiday.
to him if we were able to.
Happy. No, okay.
No,
we won't
maybe
do
not.
that.
Maybe not.
Well, listen, guys, enjoy the Manx Grand Prix. Thanks for chatting to us. It's quite the collection you've got here. You hear you've got a few more back home in the front bedroom, did you say?
There is another bike in the front bedroom, and as I said, a lawnmower on the hearth. But that's another story for another day.
Okay. Well, listen, gents, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the Grand Prix, and enjoy these stunning wheels.
We will.
All right, take care.
very much,
Thanks so
Amy.
much.
Cheers now.
Two-wheeling.
Bye.
So, Owen, show crew, I've said that right, hopefully. We've only practiced about 3 times. Congratulations. The Mike Hailwood Foundation supported you there. You just had your presentation. How important is it for you to go racing and for their support, really, and have such a great community behind you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It was only a couple of days before we were packing up to ship over here that I got the email from the guys saying that, I'd received the award, and the cost involved in participating in an event like this is massive. So, any little helps, and it's certainly not a small contribution. It covered pretty much all the ferries and everything. It means the world. It really does.
Well, listen, how are you enjoying the Manx Grand Prix so far?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a rocky start. A few issues, teething issues, we'll say, to put it mildly. But yeah, we're getting into the swing of things now, and just hopefully the weather holds out.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Adam McLean, congratulations on your award from the Mike Hailwood Centre and your support, really. Now, Adrian Earnshaw was the one that has recommended you that they continue to support you. He was a big fan, obviously, and what a great man, and amazing to have their support behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to have the support of the Mike Hailwood Foundation, and a big thanks to Adrian as well. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but great guy and got on very, very well with him. I met him when I first came to Isle of Man to the Southern 100 in 2016, and we headed off straight away and remained good friends. Since then. So whenever I got the email to say that the Mike Hailwood Foundation would be continuing the support in Adrian's memory as such was fantastic. So yeah, lovely.
Great. And how important is it to get that monetary support as well for you as a rider?
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Obviously, it costs so much to come to Isle of Man and race, and there's so many costs that you don't even take into consideration. Just time being here, it takes a big effort and a big commitment for everyone to be here. So to have the support like that definitely means a lot, and it makes it definitely a bit easier. So yeah, much appreciated.
Thanks for talking to us. Thank you very much. So we have Joe Yeardsley here. You have just been awarded for the first time it is, isn't it? From the Mike Hailwood Foundation. So as a Manxman, to have these guys supporting you, it must be extra special.
Yeah, it's really special. The amount of support you get, from all the local different foundations and stuff like that, it's all a massive part of it. And being a newcomer with not a lot of financial backing, it's all a massive help. And without people like that, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
And you're not doing too bad, really, Joe, to be honest, are you?
Not doing too bad. I mean, no, it's been good. It's been nice to get seeded up a little bit and try and get a bit more of a clear run. But no, the classes are real tight. I think this year, from the spectator side of things, it's going to be one of the most exciting ones going. For us riders, it's going to be tight. I wouldn't want to be doing a pit board for someone. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope the weather's okay over the racing days. I know today's a bit iffy for the lightweight one, but hopefully they get out on track. And then, if the sun shines, we'll just go out and do what we do. And as long as everyone comes back in one piece and enjoys it, that's all that matters.
Great. Well, listen, Joe, have a great one, and thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
So we are here at the National Motorcycle Museum tent, where they've got some stunning pieces of machinery and history here. And this great man, James Ewing, the museum director, has brought these bikes over to join the parade tomorrow. What a lucky man you are!
Hey, Hayley, it's been a few years since we've been here. We did a big thing in 2015 when we ran about 12 Norton Rotaries in like a feature parade then. And then since then we've not been back, so it's great to be back.
And for the centenary, you had to be here, didn't you?
We had to be here for the centenary, yeah, and sort of representing the different eras of the Manx Grand Prix, yeah.
Great, I love it. Now, we arrived to Steve Hislop's bike being turned over, being revved up. Oh my God, it smelled and sounded amazing.
The White Charger, yeah. I mean, we get asked to go so many places with that bike. It's, I guess, arguably, it's probably the most famous race bike in the National Motorcycle Museum there in Birmingham. So we do get asked, it goes to Goodwood, it's been over to the island so many times, but people always love to see it.
Oh, great. So let's run through them if you don't mind. Let's start from the top here and then we'll work our way through if you don't mind.
So we've got the Robert Dunlop bike. Now we've got 2 Robert Dunlop Rotaries in the collection. And this one is, in fact, the later bike. This is the NRS bike, as opposed to the earlier one, which was the RCW. So this was the one that Robert was riding in the early 90s, as opposed to the late 80s. Obviously did very well here at the TT and also on the roads in Ireland. So very, very famous bike. And tomorrow in the parade, we've got Michael Rutter on that one.
Wonderful, great. The legend that is.
The legend that is Michael, yeah.
Okay, so we've obviously just touched a little bit on Steve's, but we could just give the full story, that'd be great.
Yeah, so 1992, senior TT winning bike, the White Charger.
Yeah.
The giant, and of course, for any of your viewers that don't know, the giant killing story of Carl Fogarty on the Works Yamaha YZF, and Steve Hislop on the, at that time, unsponsored underdog, lashed up at the last minute in a shed at the factory in Shenston then, and of course the factory was sort of on its last legs then, so no budget. Picked up that Abbas sponsorship at the last minute, and of course it was called the White Charger because when it arrived on the island, apart from a bit of Manx sponsorship from the Steam Packet and what have you, there was no sponsors. And they only picked the sponsors up right at the last minute, and then that giant killing story, very close race. And as Carl said to me, he didn't expect Steve, as amazing a rider as Steve was, he didn't expect Steve to be able to win on that bike because he was on the Works Yamaha. And as Carl said to me, the Yamaha was dropping apart underneath and the rev counter fell off and the tank was loose and he was holding it on with his knees. And the old White Charger finished pretty much unscathed, so a David and Goliath story.
Yeah. If you haven't watched that race back, where have you been? Make sure you tune into that. Okay, so next up.
So next we've got that pre-war Norton Inter. That's a nice bike then, of course, representing all the different eras of the Manx. We've just been running that one up this morning. That one's been over to the island a few years ago, and it's done some laps of the mountain course. So we're fairly confident of that one. The rider as yet still unknown, but that's going to get sorted out in the next few hours because we've got quite a lot of famous riders want to take part in the parade. So we'll have somebody famous on that, I'm sure. But it's all ready to go, and a bike that's already proved itself round the mountain. 1933, that one's from.
Wow. Okay.
Well, another famous one then, Hayley, we've got the 1949 Jeff Duke Clubman TT winning bike. So uber famous rider, uber famous bike, obviously an amazing provenance. Jeff Duke, when there was the Clubman TT, of course, when you were riding road bikes essentially. And of course, the Clubman TT went, as you all know, right through to the late 80s, early 90s, and got a bit risky then on the old big Japanese bikes. But yeah, a bike pretty much standard from the factory, and the godfather of the TT there, Jeff Duke, he took the 1949 Clubman TT on that bike. So, and tomorrow we've got Ryan Neen on that bike.
Ah.
Yeah, in fact, he's just been in with us this morning, just trying the thing out. I said to him, the only thing that we want to see, you've just got to get your knee down through the bungalow now, right? So, yeah. So he's quite excited about riding that tomorrow.
And then obviously the great Alec Bennett.
Yeah, right on the end there is the 1928 Alec Bennett TT winning Velocette, junior TT winning bike. So again, much older back in the scheme of things, representing the 1920s, and Alec Bennett there. A little bit different that. Now Nick Jeffries is going to be riding that, but it's a little bit different in as much as it's lever throttle and hand change, so it's not a twist grip throttle. Now we're not even sure if Nick's ever ridden a hand change bike, so we'll soon find out tomorrow. I'm sure he's going to come and see us today though, but he'll enjoy riding that because it's got no brakes really. Well, it has got brakes, but you might as well not have brakes. Lever throttle, not twist grip, hand change, so there's a lot going on. Manual advance and retard on the ignition, so a lot of things that modern day riders aren't used to. So we might, Nick, as brilliant as he is, we might need to give him a little bit of guidance on that one. A little bit of guidance, and then just coming in one bike there, we've got that just post-war AJS 7R. And that's representing the sort of late 40s here over at the Manx, and we've got the one and only Milky Quail on that bike.
Wonderful.
So we've got some great riders, and we're really privileged to be here. Obviously we've got some uber famous bikes, but the thing about the National Motorcycle Museum, the important thing about the museum is we use the bikes. And so they're not just stored away for people to view in a museum. We're not a conventional museum in that way. We bring the bikes out to a lot of track events, Isle of Man, Goodwood, all sorts of places, even abroad. Even go abroad to places like Coupe Moto Lejeune and Dijon in France. And we use the bikes as they're intended, and quite often we use the bikes, and here's a good example with some riders that are really representative of those bikes. I mean, we've had Michael Dunlop quite a lot on his dad's bike, which is marvellous. I mean, sadly, obviously, we can't have Steve on his bike, but we can have people. We've had John McGuinness ride it in the past, so we've got people that knew Steve and back in the day and were very close to Steve, as was Ian Simpson. Ian Simpson was a good friend of Steve Hislop, so it's marvellous to have Ian on the bike tomorrow. So we try and link in with the past as well as using the machinery.
Yeah, wonderful. Wow, what a dream job you have.
Yeah, it keeps me out of prison.
Listen, James, thanks so much for your time. I know you're crazy busy trying to get these ready and meet everyone and get everyone set up.
Touch wood, we're all good so far. Okay. We've run everything up, everything seems fine. We've done quite a lot of work. Wes, our mechanic, who's here today, and his son Chris, our two mechanics. We've done quite a lot of work over the last 3 weeks. Okay. Just getting everything spot on, because at the end of the day they've still got to do 37 3/4 miles, and I can tell you that last time Michael Rutter rode it, he was putting in 115 mile an hour laps, so we have to race prepare him. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much, and we look forward to hopefully coming and meeting you at the museum. That'd be great, and come and have a little tour around, come and cover it.
Have a look at the collection. Yeah.
We'd love to. James, everyone, and his glorious collection that's going to be going out in the Manx Grand Prix parade tomorrow. So here with Marcus Simpson, and you were first-time recipient, weren't you, of support today from the Mike Aylward Foundation?
Yeah, the Mike Aylward Foundation have been great. They've got behind us and a bunch of others, and yeah, it just makes events like this so much easier. Not so much easier, but just that support, it just takes the pressure off a little bit.
And a local lad, it's great to see a local lad getting that support and doing so well as well.
Yeah, it's... I've been watching my dad here since 2006 when he first did the Manx Grand Prix, and it's just always been the dream to race around here. And yeah, it's going well. It's more or less going to plan how we, the I had no expectation of any lap time, and but yeah, it's going well.
Great. Listen, Marcus, thanks so much. And yeah, congratulations. So, just got chatting to this lovely couple here, Kay and Martin, and they've come all the way from Tasmania. Wow, welcome.
Yes, it's worth every mile of it, though, isn't it?
Well, you haven't got a Tasmanian accent there.
No, I should have, because I've been there since 1965. So,
Right.
yeah, but we come here regular.
Okay. Every year?
No. Well, we haven't been able to come for the last 2 or 3, have we?
Yeah.
But we've been a lot of times.
Okay.
And this morning I went round the track on a Triumph, which is the first time I've ever done a lap, which was fabulous. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So you were riding, and do you ride pillion?
No, riding.
You're riding.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Shit. I'm the motorbike fanatic.
Yeah.
And she's the long-suffering.
Long-suffering wife.
Long-suffering wife. Yes.
And what keeps drawing you back?
The motorbikes. I'm a motorbike addict, especially the old British ones.
And you must have motorbikes in Tasmania, so why would you keep coming this far to see the motorbikes?
Well, yeah, it's like I was born in Lancashire, so it's nice to come back to where you was born and drive around and see a few people that I still know, you know. And often meet people here that I know as well. I have a cousin that raced here for years and years and years.
Right.
He's a bit older than me. He's probably 78, and he come off his motorbike at Wigan the other day racing.
Oh, no way. Wow, what's his name?
Roger Wilson.
Roger Wilson, brilliant. And have you never raced?
Well, yeah, I raced a Velocet in Tasmania in 1965 and 1966, but Kay doesn't like me racing, of course, so.
You can come and watch the racing.
Oh, it's fabulous, yeah.
Great.
And I love the Isle of Man even without the motorbikes. Are you from here?
I am. I'm
Isn't it
Manx.
fabulous?
Yeah. It's
We love that ride, you know, and we love Derby. We reckon it's the best show ever. We always see that.
Yeah.
We used to come to TT, but we're too old for that now. It's too fast.
I love it. Well, listen, enjoy the rest of your trip. Enjoy the racing and the motorbikes, and thanks for chatting to us.
Thank you.
You may join us just doing a little two-wheeling. Little piece. Two-wheeling, thank you. So we're catching up with local boy Marcus Simpson. You haven't been going too bad, have you?
No, yeah, it's been a really good week, and just built all week, slow and steady, and yeah, still feeling good. Yeah.
And the Manx boys are smashing it, really, aren't they, in newcomers category?
Yeah, fair play to everyone else. Joe and Dave, you know, they're doing great, and any of the other lads. It's great to see the Manx crop all coming through.
And who are you enjoying being out there against? Anyone in particular?
No, not really worried about anybody else. Yeah, I tried to keep on my own on the track. Because I want to learn it, and you know, there's other people learning it for themselves, and yeah, but yeah.
And how have you been focused on that and learning the track? Because obviously being a local boy, everyone says it's your advantage, but really, until you get out there on those closed roads, you can't really get your feel for it, can you? So how have you been preparing for that?
Yeah, so being a local is definitely an advantage, but as I found out on Sunday, doing a lap in the car or a lap on the video game or watching it on board on YouTube, it's nothing like doing it. The wind, the bumps, everything is just completely different. But yeah, so I did, in terms of learning the course, I learned the course with Milky, I learned the course with Barty, I got laps in off Connor, Moffey, Ryan Kringle, who did really good there at TT. He took me for a lap after TT while it was fresh in his head, and from a newcomer's point of view, that was really good to learn from. And over at Armoy, I was chatting away with Davey Todd, and he said that he genuinely used the video game. So since Armoy to now, I've been just doing laps on the video game. I'm just trying to think. And Sweeney as well. He's done a few laps with me last year at TT, and it's been good.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it.
That's a nice collection of names you're tapping into
Yeah. So what? Milky Barty, Connor, Moffy, Sweeney. Great people to learn off and listen to, and it's I can't thank them all enough for the time that they took out of their schedule to put in and help me.
And realistically, what are you hoping for to take away from this Manx Grand Prix?
To be honest with you, I've already taken. I know it's only practice, but obviously I wanted to go to TT for the basis of the laps and the weather and all that kind of thing. I think we've been really lucky with the way that the organisers have handled all the situations with weather and stuff. We've got loads of laps still here. I think I'm up to about 20 laps. So I think coming into the event, I was, am I gonna? It's all great thinking what you can do or what you can't do, but there's no better way of finding out than doing it. So I think the only thing I was sort of trying to find out was, was I going to go to TT next year? Am I good enough, or was I going to stay at the Manx and chip away here? But I think I'll go to TT next
I'll see you
year.
at the TT then. Absolutely. Listen, nice one. Thanks for talking to us. All the best. Have fun. Enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing what you do.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks,
Nice
Ellie.
one. If you
Cheers.
just joined us and doing a little two-wheeling. So I'm here with Paul Baltimore from Team Classic Suzuki, who has just been part of the delivery of a pretty spectacular bike and is involved in some amazing projects, but one of which your main client is Team Classic Suzuki, isn't it?
Right,
So
yes.
Paul,
Yeah, and in the 80s I was with Team Suzuki, GB, and the factory in Japan. And because of that knowledge, I get hired to look after RG 500s in particular, and mainly for Steve Wickman at Team Classic Suzuki.
Okay.
And we have here a couple of motorcycles which are fairly famous. One of them has been seen at the TT here before. It actually won a TT, and it also won the British Grand Prix the year before, which makes it fairly unique. After about the mid-70s, when the TT was no longer a Grand Prix event, you didn't really have bikes that would win a Grand Prix and a TT. So this bike is quite unique in that respect, and it is the bike that Randy rode in 1980, Mick Grant rode in 1981.
Mega.
And it's nice to touch it again.
Yeah.
Because I touched it in the 80s. So
Wow. What an honour.
it is. It's quite nice, really. Steve has a marvellous collection of motorcycles, and some of them are bikes that I've touched before and I'm touching again, and I can look at them and go, I remember that dent. I remember making that bracket. It's really quite special.
Wow. And tell us about Phil Reed's bike there just behind you as well. So
Yes,
we've got two here.
over here we have a Mark 1 Suzuki. When Phil left MV, he had a privateer Suzuki like this in 1976 in life colours. And we've tried to replicate that here with the colour scheme and so on. And this is a bike that Phil has actually ridden for Team Classic Suzuki for 7 or 8 years until he passed, unfortunately, last year. It's quite a special motorcycle, and it's quite different. It has no silencers, so it's very loud. I took it to Brands Hatch a few weeks ago, and it was measured at over 120 decibels, which is jumbo jet sort of area. It's loud. So it was about 95 horsepower at the rear wheel, 4-cylinder, 2-stroke, water-cooled, disc valve. 4 years later, we've got a 4-cylinder, water-cooled, disc valve, 2-stroke with about 115 horsepower. So in 4 years, they went 20 horsepower more.
Wow.
And in another 4 years, they found another 20 horsepower. So the development cycle was really quite short. This is quite basic in terms of a Grand Prix motorcycle at that time. It's got very thin forks, thin chassis, nothing's built very big. It's quite flexible when you ride it. Twin dampers on the back. When you move on 4 years later, everything's a much beefier, much stronger. You've got monoshock on the rear, 1 damper instead of 2. that was the development that was going on in Grand Prix in that time. I mean, you see it these days in MotoGP. There is development every race. There's something new, and it was the same for us in the 80s. Every race we had something new to try.
Spectacular.
It is really.
It's like feast for the eyes and the ears.
Yes.
I haven't heard it yet, but I look forward to hearing it. So these are going out in the parade, are they?
They are in the parade tomorrow
For the
afternoon.
centenary parade.
Yeah, Mick's going to be riding this one, which he won the TT in 81 on.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of Phil's sons going to be riding this one, which is quite a nice tribute to Phil.
Wonderful.
So,
great. And so
and actually, I've ridden this one as well, and it is quite good fun to ride. I rode it at Donington a few years ago.
Great.
It is quite fun to ride.
And what's been, from a classic point of view, so you would have had access to all sorts of classics, what's really stood out for you, and what have you had the most fun on, or has meant the most to you?
The first year I joined Suzuki in 82, I had the model after this one to look after, and I really liked that motorcycle. And then 1987, we had a really nice Formula One 750 GSXR Suzuki, which was beautiful. It was tiny. It was a fantastic machine. My rider won a couple of rounds of the World Championship on it, so he did crash in another one, but he won a couple of rounds of the World Championship, and I really like that motorcycle. All motorcycles sort of excite me. I've got a wide range of stuff on my own at home, from old to new, so yeah, it's just motorcycles. Cut me in half, it says motorcycle. In fact, cut me twice and it says Suzuki.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you for sharing these with us.
okay.
Thank you for bringing them to the centenary so we can all enjoy them with you as well.
Pleasure.
Can't wait to see them out there on the course. Have you joined us in just doing a little two-wheeling classic symbol? Thank you. So I'm here with Steve Wheatman, and he is here with Team Classic Suzuki. So they've just delivered these two spectacular Suzukis for the parade tomorrow. There's two. Mick Grant will be riding this. This was his that he won in.
Yes, so that's actually Mick's old TT winning bike from 1981. It was Randy Mamola's GP bike the previous year, but the TT riders in those days used to get the hand-me-downs from the GP stars. So, but no, he rode it in 81, and I was fortunate enough to buy the bike from Japan about 10 years ago, and Mick's ridden it on a number of occasions since, and Randy Mamola's ridden it 2 or 3 times this year as well. So it's nice to get the bikes reunited with the original riders wherever we can.
Definitely. And to get them out and playing, right? To get them running.
Well, I must admit, I'm beginning to wonder about my wisdom with doing that, but yes, we try at the beginning of the year, we try and think what events we're doing and who's likely to ride, and so we work on getting those bikes up and in a good, safe, usable condition, and hopefully they'll last the year, and then we can look at what we're doing with them next year. But it is becoming more and more difficult as the parts become rarer and rarer and rarer, and we're having to make more things ourselves. So, but at the moment, these two are running well.
So the largest classic Suzuki bike collection in the world, is that right?
Apparently so. I've not got quite as many as I used to have, but still got about 70 Suzuki race bikes, and the majority of those are over 10 years old, and quite a lot of them are sort of 30, 40 years old like these. So yes, I think it probably is. Yeah, certainly more than Suzuki have got in Japan anyway.
Woo! And how many of those do you get out racing in the year?
Probably between 10 and 15 we get out there. I mean, all of the bikes are capable of being ridden, and or would be within 1 or 2 days of us putting our minds to it. But we tend to have a look at what we're going to do, and as I say, we try and use the bikes that we know are the safest, most reliable. And this year's been a particularly busy year. We've looked after Kevin Schwantz on 2 occasions, and we've got another event next month with Kevin and Randy and some other riders, and obviously we're at Goodwood and a number of UK events, as well as recently in Belgium and earlier in the year in Spain, and we're due to go to Portugal as well. So yeah, it's busy.
Fantastic. And what keeps you committed and keeps, obviously the collection is huge, but what is it about Suzuki that it's your love is just you're so loyal to it?
I think it really stems from many years ago when I was young, and when I was first into bikes, like everybody used to be when they were 16. In those days, people had a little sports moped, either a Fizzy or an AP50 or something exotic that was Italian. And when I was first into the bikes, and Barry Sheen was world champion, and he was everybody's hero that was 16, 17, we all wanted to be him.
Yeah.
So even though I ended up buying a lot of Yamaha road bikes, when I first started to collect the race bikes, it really had to be Suzuki's, and the first one I bought was an RG500, and it had a connection to Barry Sheen, and then it sort of went on from there. And people say it started as an interest and became an obsession. I think it's built more of an illness now, but more than anything else. But
An infection.
it is like that. You can't just scratch it to get rid of it, though.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad one to have, to be honest. Probably an expensive one, but just the most, probably the fix and the community as well that you must love being a part of as a result of it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's really good to be at various events and have riders that you only sort of dreamt that you'd ever meet, especially world champions like Schwantz. We've had obviously Randy Mamola, we've had so many world champions ride the bikes, Wayne Gardner, Phil Reed, the list just goes on and on. Even Freddie Spencer, that's a Honda man, he's ridden for us on a number of occasions, and they're all, without exception, they've all been like wonderful people as well. So a lot of the time they say you should never meet your heroes, but in this particular case they really are good people.
Wonderful. And do you have a favourite classic event that you really like showing them or attending yourself?
Well, we all say it's the one we're at.
Yeah.
But I really like the event that we do when we go to Spa in Belgium, and every year we also go to a proper racing event down in South Africa, and it's really nice to get away and get a bit of sunshine in January and February and do a little bit of racing and some eating and drinking down there, and it's a nice thing to do. It's a good excuse to go.
Wonderful, sounds great. Well, listen, thank you for joining us at the centenary. The Manx Grand Prix is an honour to have you here for the 100-year celebrations. And then obviously you have Michael Dunlop out there on his Suzuki, and what phenomenal lap times he's been giving us and performance already, and it's going to be a pretty great Grand Prix for him, I think.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it would have been nice if he could have got out today on his 250 and won on that to take the pressure off, shall we say. And we do still have some reliability issues with the big superbike, and because we've only been developing it for 2 years, whereas a lot of the bikes that are here, the Kawasaki's and other bikes, they've had 8-9 years in some cases to develop them. But we'll see, we're learning, and if the bike holds together, I'm sure Michael will be at the sharp end of the results. But if it doesn't hold together, then it won't be finishing second or third or fourth, I don't think. It'll either be first or it'll be nothing.
He's one super, on another level, committed human being, isn't he? You see him in the pits and he's straight after every session, he's on it with his crew, he's got on the laptop, they're looking at the stats, they're tinkering away. It just feels they're just at another level. So
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing to watch.
He is. He's certainly absolutely committed to it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's his life, and it's not only his life; it's what he's grown up with. And the thing with Michael is he is a very, very nice guy, and he's 100% committed to everything he does. And he's also incredibly intelligent and quick-witted and funny. And when you get to know him, he really is a lovely guy.
Well, listen, enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of the event, and have fun. Hopefully the sun's going to stay out to play.
Yes. It's been nice and sunny ever since they said it was going to rain.
Yeah, I know. It's been wonderful to speak to you. Thanks for sharing your beauties with us. So we happen to have stopped here to have a nice little chat with Chris, and he's just sharing his only toy left, you said. Is that correct? Your Norton?
Yeah, Norton Dummy Racer.
Okay.
It's a replica machine. It's not an original, but it's a replica of the factory bike from 1961, which Tom Phillis rode into third place in 61. And then after that, Norton's packed it in and didn't race the Dummy Racer again. The bikes were sold to Paul Dunstall, and then they were generally had bigger engines put in them, and they just seemed to disappear. Phil Reed rode one of these in practice in 61 and fell off at signpost. Sid Mizzen then took over that ride, so it was Sid Mizzen and Tom Phillis. Sid Mizzen actually went to work for Paul Dunstall after the bikes were sold to Dunstalls.
Okay. And you used to race as well yourself?
Yep, I used to classic race 350 and 500 Nortons up until 2006 was the last time I raced, which was Daytona in GP 500 and GP 350. 5th and 7th in GP 500.
Tremendous. And so this is how you play out now? This is how you come out to play? Is this final toy?
Well, basically,
this is where you get your race
it's part of the show.
Yeah.
We make all this equipment, and obviously we come here to sell and to show it off.
Yeah, great. Wonderful. And why the centenary?
Say again, sorry.
Why the Manx Grand Prix?
Why?
Why does it draw you back to be here?
I've been coming to the Isle of Man since 1965 as a youngster, shall we say, but I've never raced here. But I've raced North America, Europe, and Northern Ireland, the Ulster Grand Prix.
Okay.
But now we're too old and too creaky.
Well, at least you can bring this beauty here, and you can come, the community that come back together and reunites really, and especially something like a 100-year celebration, it's really special to be a part of, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us. Enjoy the Manx Grand Prix, and we will, we'll see you very soon. We'll be round the paddock, so we'll look forward to checking in with you again soon. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. They did one way on the mountain for us as well, so that was great. Yeah.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. I just spotted your tattoo there. It's lovely.
Oh, yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Really nice.
Ready when you are.
In the TT Grandstand, but it's Manx Grand Prix, and we are sat here with local legend, Nathan Harrison. He is here racing with, of course, Ashcourt Racing on the Honda. And Nathan, it's so nice to see you back on Manx Rose. How has it been?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Obviously, I missed probably the best TT ever with the weather, but there was a lot of things going on. Obviously, it wouldn't have been right to do it with my injuries that I had, and I had things going on at home and everything. So I think everything fell into place, and it just wasn't meant to be. But it was fantastic to be back here, and obviously got the opportunity to ride the Ashcourt Racing RC45, which is a proper iconic machine.
And they couldn't have picked a better lad to get on it. So how did that tell us how it came about? Because it was quite last minute with Lee, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'd been on the lookout for a classic superbike because I rode for the Greenall team last year, but obviously it's Kawasaki, and then with my factory Honda tyres, I have to be riding on a Honda. So unfortunately, I couldn't carry on with the Greenall team. Obviously, I had a great result with them last year, but so I was hunting, and then obviously Lee got injured, but I'm not the type of person to go asking or anything, so I just thought I'll wait and see and keep on asking, making inquiries about other things and see what I can find. And then next minute, week after TT, my phone rang and it was Lee saying, "You've had a bit of a rough time, and obviously I'm not going to be racing, and how would you be interested in riding in the RC45?" And it didn't even take me 2 seconds to think about it. I just said, "Yes, please."
I love it. And how has it felt getting back on the bike? Because obviously you had a little bit of time off there. How's it felt getting back, and obviously going back into roads?
Yeah, of course. It's obviously I'm a bit rusty than everybody else. Like I say, everybody at TT had like 60 plus laps, didn't they? So I've done 6 or 7 laps in practice so far. So I am still finding my feet. But it's a perfect opportunity to do this as well, to get back into it for the TT next year and just get some laps in. The way that the Manx Grand Prix is now, people that do the TT can still ride in the classic races, which is a big help. But we're coming good. I think tomorrow in the race we should be quite strong, and I'm pretty confident. We've had a couple of problems in practice week, but they're all sorted out, and hopefully get a good race tomorrow.
And tell us about the bike.
I know. It's a It's older than me, obviously, which is I wasn't around in that era, but I definitely remember it all like the videos growing up, and like the Hislop, Joey, Philip McCallan. That was the era, and it's one of the most iconic bikes or on the grid. I would say that and the Norton are probably the most iconic bikes on the grid. But I said to the team, I kind of wish I could sit and watch as well as ride it at the same time, because I just want to hear it go past. But no, it's an unbelievable machine, and like you say, with the history that bike has got, to be asked to ride it and ride it around the TT course as a Manxman is pretty cool.
Well, besides all the fans that you've got plenty of friends and family on the island that can be filming that for you anyway, haven't you? So you've got a great history with the Manx, and it's an incredible event, and it's an important event for racing over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the strength of the TT as well, and the entries into the TT. But as a Manxman, being a part of the Manx Grand Prix, and then to be a part of the 100-year celebrations, I mean, wow.
Yeah, exactly. The Manx Grand Prix has been special to me. Obviously, my dad did it, then my brother did it, and then I've done it. That's where I kind of made my step to the TT. When I won the junior and senior in 2019, it was like a big thing for me. And I think that's why it's so important. It gives the opportunity for people to come to the Manx Grand Prix with less pressure. They can build up in their own time, and then they can make that transition to the TT a bit easier, because some people if you're a BSB star and you're top 10 in BSB, like Glenn Irwin, for example, the TT is the only option for you, really, because you're a quality rider. But this Manx Grand Prix gives you the opportunity to get to that point. And like you say, even now, how they've got it set up, you've got classic racing with top riders on them. You've got junior racing and senior racing for people for the chance to come up. And like you say, at the minute, you got some newcomers doing really well. But yeah, no, it's an iconic event, and it's great to see it. And to be part of the 100 years is a fantastic thing to be a part of.
And your helmet as well.
Yeah.
I love the paintwork on your helmet. Tell us about that and who did it for you.
Yeah, so Phil from Warpaint did that for us. Obviously, it was stuff that's gone on at home. I thought she'd kill me if I didn't do something. So yeah, I thought I did a nice little tribute to the back of my helmet, and like I say, that way she's coming around with me. She never used to watch me or anything like that. She didn't have a clue what was going on until I come back, but she hasn't got a choice now. She's flying around on the back.
Well, listen, Nathan, thank you so much. I know it's a busy week for you. I really appreciate you coming and chatting with us. Yeah. All the best. It's ace to see you part of the Manx Grand Prix and back on the roads, and I can't wait to see what you do tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We just popped up to Derby Day up in the north of the island. Lucky for us, we've just bumped into Paul Cassidy, fresh off his win yesterday. Paul, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's so good to see you, Maxman, on the top step.
Yeah, it's nice to actually get a win round here, to be honest with you. You know, it is a dream, isn't it, to actually get on a top step and get a trophy and actually get your name on the trophy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really looking forward to it. And then, yeah, we're back out on Monday now, isn't it, for the Classic Superbike. And we've had a lot of troubles, really, with that. But, yeah, we'll forget about that one.
What are your hopes for tomorrow?
To be honest with you, for the team, we'd just like to get a finish. The first night of practice, we had the carbs come off. Second night, we had the head gasket blow on it. The third night, we had a gearbox problem. Then we had a fuel problem. So we haven't actually done many laps. We've done 3 in total. So yeah, get a finish and we'll be happy. Straight into the beer tent.
Yeah, too right. Well deserved as well. And taking us back to that ultra lightweight, the bike that you were on, tell us about the team setup and what you won the race on.
Yeah, so basically we were riding a Yamaha 400. It's an ex-Hislop. I think he rode it in 91 or 92. A lad called Dave Green, he bought it this year and asked me if I wanted to ride it. So I jumped at the opportunity for that, just for the history of the 100th anniversary of it. And then, yeah, we went out the first night and we were told that it'd do the 2 laps. Unfortunately, it didn't. We only got down to the Craig and ran out of fuel on that. So then we knew we had to change the tank. So eventually we got our hands on another tank through Gav Brown, one of his friends. And that then was set then for a 2-lapper. And then we'd obviously have to fuel, which we did on the first lap. So, yeah, we set off. Got a bit of a slow start, to be honest, it felt like. Came back in, got fueled up, good team. You know, we got going, head down. And then as we started coming onto the mountain, we realised there was a lot of mist. It was quite bad in places. You know, you could not physically see through it. And then coming down from the Craig, we got the red flag, and we were all sat there in a bit of anticipation, wondering what was going to be the turnout. And we were all questioning each other. And then, we got back and they weighed the bikes, checked the bikes over, and then we were given the win. So I was happy, more than happy.
Excellent. Well, listen, good luck tomorrow. Enjoy the celebrations tomorrow night. And all the best and nice to speak to you.
Thank you very much.
So up here at Derby Day, you bump into some pretty ace faces. There's some great racing going on. The weather has got a little bit wet now. So we've come in for a bit of shelter into the race office and bumped into these guys. So Heads Up Racing, Mr. Ian Pert, you're here obviously enjoying the Manx Grand Prix and also with the team, Ian?
Yeah, we've come over to Marshall, so we've brought Heads Up. The youths involved in Heads Up build the bikes, and they take part in the races either as marshals or as pit crew, or if a couple of the lads are riding, and then I ride as well when I need to. But this time we're over to Marshall with these three, and we're also lucky enough to be here with Alistair Cowan and his race team, and they've got Dave O'Johnson currently sitting second, Craig Neve fourth, and Chris Cook is fifth or sixth, I think it is, in the senior class.
In the Manx Grand Prix.
Yeah, so it's awesome. We're sharing the house with Alistair and Colin, and it's really good because not only are we getting to see it from the marshalling side of things, but we're getting to be part of a team in a very tiny way, but it's really nice.
Awesome. We've got to tell the viewers about Heads Up Racing. It's a pretty amazing organisation and what it does, so fill everybody in on it.
We're a charity that started around a race team. The kids involved build the bikes, and then they come to all the events as pit crew. And I'd say we've got two young lads that ride for the team now. We've got Callum Pert, who's my son, and Finlay Milne, and then my other son Gregor is part of the other side of Heads Up when he's not playing rugby. So the charity works that we'll be working with unemployed kids. We've got groups of kids that come on a Friday night, which is John's part of that. So Friday night the workshop's open to anybody who wants to come along, and we'll just buy a load of chips and set them down in the middle of the table, and then some of the lads and lasses work on bikes, and the other ones just sit there and watch bike racing stuff on the telly and stay warm and keep safe and not be causing a nuisance to anybody, and just see a different side of life. And then Ollie, who's another lad who's with us, is part of our unemployed group that we work with, and these guys just got the opportunity to, right, we're going to Isle of Man, we're going to Marshall, this is the day we're leaving, are you want to come? So
not a bad way to spend your Friday night, is it, John?
Oh, that's really good. I've been part of it for, I think it's about 5.5 years now, and the way I started with Heads Up is I was just kind of one of these quite quiet people at school, and I got invited onto a group with Ian. And I'd always been into cars and bikes my whole life. And one of the days when I got to go down to the workshop and I seen that, I can get involved with this sort of things, I went straight headfirst into it. And from there, I haven't looked back. I've been able to get a job into the motor trade and progress my mechanical skills further, and getting all these experiences. Without Ian, honestly, I don't know where I'd be.
I'll start crying in a minute.
And Gregor, it's pretty ace what your dad's doing, isn't it? And then you get to sample the delights of the great organisation and do it with your brother as well.
Yeah, I think it's great what he does, and my brother is always involved in the racing side as he's one of the racers. I tend to come along and do the marshalling sides of things, and I'll go to the racing and I'll help out everywhere I can. Just trying to be as much help, but it's really good what he does, and it's a lot of help to a lot of people, I think.
It has. It's a wonderful charity. So if anybody wanted to support it and help it out, how can they do that, Ian?
There's several ways. They can look on Facebook. They can find my Facebook, Ian Pert. Dead easy to spot because it's the only one you'll find that's got bike racing on it. There's also the Heads Up, which is spelled HEDZUP, and they'll find the Heads Up Racing. I've got a page as well, but I'm not very good at updating that. But we do try. And so you can just get in touch. If anybody would be interested, if anybody wants to just find out more, just get in touch. If anybody's kind enough to find out more and we want to try and support us with what we do, that'd be amazing. We've got the motorbike side of things. We try to build an outdoor centre for kids in the mountains of Scotland, just because kids need an adventure, and that's what's missing in life. So we try and give them an adventure, whether it's coming to bike racing, whether it's building race bikes, or whether it's going climbing or hill walking or whatever. We just try and show them that life's really good, but you have to put a wee bit of effort in and grab it, and it doesn't grab you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Changing so many lives. It's great. I want to plug your book as well. I mean, it's a bit of a cheesy book. Bit of a cheesy book.
Oh, thanks for that.
No, that's not what I meant to say.
I was so proud.
Bit of a cheesy plug, but it's a great book. You've got more than one book, right?
Well, I'm still writing the second one.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, me and Jim Hunter, who's one of the travelling marshals, in fact he's one of the main travelling marshals, and a guy called Ronnie Russell, who's a former TT rider, we filled a van with food and clothes and drove to Romania in the spirit of what Joey Dunlop did, and ended up actually in the Ukraine after that because it seemed like a good idea to take a detour. Sort of wasn't. And when we got back from that, I thought there's a story here, and I wrote a book. I've never written a book before, obviously, and I wrote a book and got it published, and we've been selling copies of that. I think we've sold about 500 copies in total, and we've still got copies left, so if anybody wants one, get in touch. And it is the story of what we did and our experiences. And then in 2018, we drove to... where did we drive? To Syria, because that seemed like a good idea. Well, we came back from Romania and said, well, all the stuff was kicking off. Syria was not very good, and people were starving, and thought, well, where would Joey go? And Jim said, well, he would go to Syria. So, right, okay, that's where we're going. So we drove all the way across Europe, all the way down through Turkey and right to the Syrian border. And I've been writing a book about that since we got back. But the first book, I found it really easier to write because Gregor was in a swimming club, and I would take him to swimming, and I would sit there and try and avoid the swim mums by writing the book. And just, but then COVID got in the way, and I thought COVID would be great. I'll be able to just sit there and write my book. But actually, your head's not in the right place. You have to be just I don't know, I've just struggled to do it. So I'm halfway through it, and I will get the second one written eventually.
Great.
And I'll tell you when I do.
Yes, please do. It's a great read. It's a great charity. Please do check them out. Once we share this, we'll share the link and everything. Boys, thank you for coming in, marshalling. It's really important. It's very much needed, and great experience for you guys. Thanks for chatting to us. We just joined us in doing a little two-wheeler. So here at the Derby Day, we have bumped into the Neen boys. So 4 of you have been out racing today, is that right? So young Billy's out there at the minute, and then it's only Phil that's not managed to get out. So how was it out there for you, Kenny?
It was okay, actually. It was a little bit sort of like got to be careful because I have not ridden that bike on here before.
And what bike are you riding?
I was riding CBR RR 600. It was okay. It's like it's a parade, but sometimes it's not a parade.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of mist comes down, you know.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
great.
Excellent.
No, I bet you can't go slow.
Oh, Billy's just come in.
Go for it. Thanks, Phil. So Norman, how was it for you? Did you have a bit of fun out there?
Oh, I on the big XJR 1300. I'm surprised how well it handled too.
Yeah.
I was really giving it a stick. Yeah. With the silencers off it.
A lot of noise.
Great.
No, it's good.
Been a good day though, wasn't it?
Yeah, what have you been on, Richard?
Dan's the bike that's usually at Victory Cafe.
Okay.
Took that out for its annual run.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah, took it steady. I don't want to damage it, so or myself, because you don't bounce these days. You snap. So just good fun. Yeah,
get yous all together and get yous up here and supporting Billy as well, right?
Yeah, he had his first race today.
Yeah.
He had his first race, so so he's happy. I think he's looking forward to his proper first meeting there. So
yeah.
But he's got plenty of time. He's only 13, so you know what I mean. So he's got it all ahead of him, hasn't he? You know.
Well, listen, passing the baton, so we got to keep our eyes out for him, haven't we?
Yeah, it all starts all over again in a way, really, doesn't it? You know, 1 though, not 5. Yeah, that used to be a little thing with my mum, I think. You know, the 5 of us out there all racing away, but she was very good. She never really said anything. She just
get on with it.
Yeah,
just get on with it. Enjoy it, she said, because you'll regret it if you don't.
Exactly. Well, listen, gents, I'm going to let you get back to it. Thanks for chatting to us again.
Yeah.
And enjoy this the rest of the event. It's a bit damp, isn't it?
Yeah, it's derby.
Yeah, it is derby, but it's great, isn't it? Some of the bikes that have been here.
You got most of the day in anyway, so it could have been a lot worse. Could have
going to be a total washout, couldn't it? So, and it's great for the club, brings a few quid in for the club.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a lot of people turned up.
Loads of people. They had 5,000 through the door here today. 5,000 customers, yeah, which is awesome.
Fee bob in the
Isn't
office
it?
for the club, isn't
It
it?
is
I don't know if they were charging with it today.
Wasn't they?
I don't know.
All right.
They were charging. They were charging, yeah. So that really helps a small club like this, a small circle like this.
Actually, I met two guys. They were at the Ginger Hall when Dan retired in 2017 on John Chapman's Honda.
Oh yeah.
And they had a few pints together, you know, and they were telling me a few tales, like, and when they seen Dan's bike there, they couldn't believe it, like, and I let them sit on the bike, you know, and all that, and they were going, no, and I was going, yeah, get on it, you know.
Yeah.
And they were just absolutely made up, like, you know. So a guy was from France and another one from Denmark.
Right.
But, you know, they followed Dan, like, and you just said, you know, we were saying, like, what a nice lad he was and all that, like, and the crack they had after, because, you know, he'd retired, so they had a few beers, like, so it was nice to meet them, like, you know, kids sitting on it and stuff like that. So it's been a great day. Yeah, been a great day.
Well, listen, I think the last session's going to go out, but
Yeah, I was supposed to.
yeah.
That one,
Oh, were you?
No, I was, but we decided not to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, nice one, guys. Thanks so much. Two-wheeling. So for the Manx Grand Prix celebrating 100 years, we've got quite a great entry of Manx men here this year, including this gent here, Mr. Ryan Kringle. Ryan, it's great to see you here racing and with such a great team set up as with Mistral Racing. How does it feel to be part of the centenary?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Obviously, this is my first experience with the Manx Grand Prix altogether, but to be part of the centenary year and obviously have such a great team behind me on my first go at it, it's nice to be here, yeah.
And how has it been getting that bike out?
Yeah, it's been good. Just because I've never been on something that's the same age as me, just had a couple of little teething issues with myself, nothing to do with the bike, just had to get myself comfy on it. But yeah, I think by Wednesday we were happy with where we were with pace-wise and where the bike was at, so we made a decision as a team to keep the bike ready for the race now, so less stress. Hopefully everything goes okay tomorrow now and enjoy that.
Great. And it's such a shame, Jamie. You were supposed to be here, weren't you, racing? And sadly, your ride fell through. But you can still hear and support your brother.
Yeah. It fell through like 3 weeks before the event. Just hasn't happened. I've had quite a rough year in general. I've been up every day, every practice, just helping out, doing what I can do, just to be there and just to help out.
And what's next for you?
I don't know yet. I'm wanting to try and get back to the UK, do some short circuits before the year's out. I haven't done an awful lot this year, so I need to get the cogs turning for next year already and just get some stuff sorted, really.
And as brothers competing on the same course, insane course, and we all love it, do you obviously swap notes? But how much time do you actually spend together working on your track knowledge?
We was asked this at TT as well, and to be fair, not a lot because we came into TT this year and Jamie had only done one TT as well, and there was so much thing when we were doing laps. Me and Jamie were doing them with somebody else at the same time, so we could get as much knowledge as we could. But once the sessions had finished at TT and we both sit in the truck together and have a bit of a talk there was stuff there that Jamie told me that took me that next step forward at TT, and yeah, it was just we're both still new. Even next year, it's only his third year, but obviously the lack of laps he had this year is, you know, he's still on the back foot. But yeah, 3-5 years, as they say, see where we're at then.
And you got great experience here at this particular event, so great encouragement for Ryan here as well.
Yeah, we had a good run last year, to be fair. The practice week couldn't have went any worse, but then come race day, I actually did more laps race day than I did throughout practice week, which is, people say I have a bad practice week for a good race, and that's how it turned out last year. Yeah.
Awesome. So tomorrow then, what do you expect and what are you hoping for, Ryan?
There's no expectations, just go and enjoy it, and hopefully, as long as we see the finish flag, I think we're all going to be happy in here, so that's the main aim. Obviously, you've got your own quiet goals, but there's no point screaming and shouting about it. We'll do what we can do, and what I can do on the day is all I can do, so if we finish and we're all going to have a drink after, I think we'll all be happy.
And you'll have a drink anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I bet you've got so many friends and family around the course. I mean, your home track. So it's, you know, how many people must be out there filming you, taking your pictures, sending you messages of encouragement. It must be ace.
No, it is good. It's good. It's always good to have the people out there, and you can actually learn stuff by the videos they send you as well. You can see what you're doing wrong and learn by them. But yeah, it's. I think tomorrow's going to be a bit of a different experience. But because I've not been on the bike since Wednesday now, the Alm was still quite quiet then. So obviously people come over for the weekend as a festival. But so I'm sure it's going to be a lot more people on the hedges tomorrow.
Ace. Well, listen, gents, have a great final day. Thanks for speaking to us. I look forward to seeing what you both get up to next. And have a great one tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, you just join us in doing a little two-wheeling? Yeah. Well, sadly, that is it for 2023's Manx Grand Prix centenary celebrations. And wow, what celebrations there were. There's been some phenomenal racing, some records broken, and some pretty fantastic events to celebrate those 100 years going on around us. So the one thing that stands out for me was being there up on the start line when those legends on two wheels and two legs were there for the Made at the Manx parade lap on Saturday. I mean, to be up close, so close to those beautiful pieces of machinery and history was pretty special. So yeah, it's still very much goose pimples moment, pinch me moment. Has been multiple times here, quite frankly, this last week, and it's just been an incredible. This Manx girl, yeah, is emotional, having been a part of such an event. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I cannot wait to come back next year. Stay tuned to Two Wheeling Classics. We've got lots more content coming your way. We've certainly been reliving our passion here at the Manx Grand Prix 2023.